Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with, now they looking nervously. And I don't really care what you think of me, respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future, we all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Fuck me, I'm looking in the mirror, so foggy, but I've never seen clearer. I don't really think anyone can save me, and honestly I'm not really sure I want saving. I like to be my own worst enemy. There's no risk if you don't try at anything, so I'ma just keep buying everything. See you in the next life, have to be a better me. I don't think that my head's on straight, gotta flip it and grip it and go and get an x-ray. What's wrong with me? I just feel weight pushing on my chest and it squeezes till I suffocate. Better change my mindset, meditate. It's pretty cool that I'm alive and have better days. I could walk, see, hear, I should celebrate. Think I could change my mind, maybe elevate. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days. Cause all I want, and I pray, I believe in the better days. I'm kinda stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I work hard or live at my pace? You're only young once, yeah that's all great, but I also want a future where I'm okay. Living life is doing lots of cocaine. Wait no, it's living with no shame. Wait no, it's sleeping in on Sundays. I guess it's different for each of us and that's okay. Well I just wanna be happy, how to get there, glad that you asked me. I think it's different for everyone. Some of us need work, others need fun. Some of us need purpose to overcome. But try to do what you love when it's said and done. Cause there's so many differences in each of us. Trust your gut, it can show you what you want. Living life, every day, late at night, not okay. All I want, and I pray, all I need are some better days. Yeah, all I need are some better days.
Ale přidal to, ale barvu, půlkou, rohlíku, jednou z něj bude fakt obávaný predátor v prérii.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Too many things going on, I can't keep track of them all. From people dropping a bomb to people putting up walls. I feel like life is on hold, perception stuck in a vault. I know that time can heal all, but how much time till we fall? It's awfully chilly outside, when there's no shelter to hide. When everything is a lie, you'll find that out in some time. But when the things on your mind are all considered a crime, communication aside, we'll all just fight till we die. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. I know that things seem bad, but they could be much worse. There's always someone else who has a greater curse, a greater thirst, a hunger, pain, and mercy. Just find whatever you got and try to be thankful first. I wanna feel again, I need a couple friends. I never really understood just how the story ends, but I can feel it's tense, don't know the consequence. The volatility of life, my only confidence. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? Either way, I don't wanna be a part of it. Can I just get some space? I don't have the heart for this. I can't be picking up the pieces, fixing scars from this. Is this an argument, or just the start of it? I wanna drive away so I can be so far from it. I wanna find a place where no one breaks their promises. Or maybe drown myself in something that is bottomless. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when
Hello, 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 nazdar blázni. Nazdar, 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 jak to jde? První mapa Aspa s Windstompem, come on. Ale přidal co? Půlku, párku. Nazdar blázni, díky Jakube za donos Zíny. 50 denku děkuji, ahoj ve spolek, zdravím, zdravím, zdravím. A Mates, donos Zíny, Alex si dal co? Půlku, párku, dobrý den. Nazdar blázni. Zdravím, byl jsem na pochůzkách, byl jsem u zubaře, ale jsme zpět. Hlavní zápas dneska nebude myslet. Dovolím tady u vás napapám, nazdar blázni, čauko, čauko, čauko. Zubař dopadl dobře, je tak, kamo. Byl jsem pochválen, že zuby super. A rovnou jsem se tam zeptal na bělení. Rovnou jsem se zeptal na bělení blázni a v listopadu budu vybělen. Tak jsem zvědavej, kamo, jaký to bude pocit. Takže mi nevypadají zubosy. Jsem nechtěl dělat, kámo, žádný ty pásky, co jako jsou popin. Všude se promujou pásky, kámo.
Párku s půlkou rohlíku, jednou z něj bude fakt obávaný predátor.
Všude jako promujou pásky a tak jsem se ptal přímo zubařky a říkala, že jakoby pásky samozřejmě existují, fungují, ale že tam je 1% peroxidu a ono, že má že klidně 16%. A je to kontrolované, takže jsem říkal, že postarejte se o mě, prosím. Jakoby děkuji za dalších 50, děkuji. Myslel jsem nějaký dobrý line-up, piče tam hejvnu. Jsem nemyslel dobrý line-up, ale kam byl to stop 13-2, kamo, mám takový pocit, že Verno tam určitě házel nějaký pecičky. A Tapíkos, děkuji za 5 euro, čauku, písal jsem ti na IG, všiml jsem si, že investuješ, chceš se obítat do čeho? A tak cca dáváš, a teda nevadí, se pýtám. Nevadí, bude se pýtáš, kámo, mě zajímá, jak jsi přišel na to, kámo. Já jsem jako četl, ty jsi to psal, jako než na stream, že Trading 212, kde jsi zjistil, kámo, přímo je tu aplikaci. Jako já jsem to říkal už párkrát, ale jenom mi to přišlo vtipný, ale... Čau Xbox, čau Tome. Čau Ados, čau Domestos, čau Janči, ahoj Jita. Čau Vojta. Čau Darek. Čau Aka. Nazdar. Hele, co se týče investování, kámo, jo. Investuju přes... Je to bude 3,5 roku. Co takovýho, kámo. No už jsem splnil časový test, kámo, kdybych to chtěl prodávat. Na první akci, jako on felas. A celý ty 3 roky se snažím vzdělávat každý den. A hele, došel jsem k tomu, kámo, že určitě investovat jenom do toho, do čemu jakoby rozumíš i outside těch akcích, nebo chápeš, čemu věříš, nebo čemu, co využíváš, kámo. To znamená, vole, že žádnej, vole, stock picking, ty pičo. To se mi stalo s jednou tou akcí, jsem koupil, kámo, nějakou společnost, vole, co prostě zpracovává ropu, si říkám, kámo, samozřejmě jsem viděl spoustu analýz, kámo, tyva, tak to bude bangoro. Můžeš si tipnout, kámo, jestli to ještě je na akciovém trhu vůbec. Tento ticker symbol. No, takže kámo, takový ty basic věci, kámo, investuju. Ty, který využívám, ty, kterým věřím. Největší moje pozice je asi Google, kámo. Google, S&P, že jo, klasický. Apple tam mám taky. Metu, Nvidia jsem chytil dobře. No. Každopádně, já vás tady zdravím u exkluzivního, do čeho dáváš ty, Tapíku? Exkluzivního koukání, to nedám na YouTube určitě. Aspas Vejlej. Ta Vejlej, kámo, je mega populární na Korout. Čau, když nás zdravím, Korout 2 sovy. Oba dva týmy na Korout L. Oba dva týmy L, tím pádem. 0 klipů. Díky za radu, já jsem tady zjistil o jednej. BBL prohráli první, a potom nejsou BBL, to jsou BLG, kámo, to si pleteš trošku. A proč prohráli, to nevím, já jsem tady nebyl, teď jsem došel z města, kámo. To mi řekněte výčet, proč prohráli první a po 13, když to byl jejich pick.
But of course, in very BLG fashion, they get a little antsy, they get a little curious, they decide to go exploring. Cortezia swings around, gets the best of the Sova.
Já se musím, s dovolením jsem potřebuji najíst, kámo.
Slips the net, gets the kill onto one, now they have to turn attention forward. Do BLG crunch in for main?
Viděl jsem, že na Havenu byly 2 neonky, čot. Tady je zase neonka. Mohl poprosit nerf neonky už do prdele. Dobrou chuť, děkuji. Jsem včera hrál neonku taky, čet na Team Deathmatchi. Hrál jsem 10 Team Deathmatchů třeba, hrál jsem neonku prostě a to je tak broken, kámo. Jak na ty neonce, kámo? Není broken jenom toto Ečko, ale i ten stun, kámo. Ten stun na té neonce je tak skurveně OP, vole. Čo je hovec? Nazdar blázni. Nice tapíku. Já jsem ale dlouhodobý investor, kámo, takže... Takže máš za měsíc 200% jako nádherný a abych to insta vytáhl, kámo, a dal to do něčeho na 5 let plus. No záleží, kolik ti je, kámo, tapík. Nevím, kolik ti je, že? Pokud jsi starší než já, tak možná máš jinou investiční tezi. A Tesla, Google, chápu, no. Teslu jsem prodal všechnu, kámo, protože mě sralo, co tweetuje Elon, kámo. Já nemám žádnou, ale... A jde do prdele, Elon. Nice, Sipl, hodně dobrý, kámo, hodně dobrý. Jo, Krizek. A hrajou dvě Viperky, chat by the way, mimo to, že hrajou dvě sovy, tak hrajou dvě Viperky. To je kolik bude Odinů tady dneska. Tohle je takový zahřívací zápas, tohle je takový zahřívací zápas. Jsem tady, abych se podíval na Aspase, na nějaký line-upy. Ten druhý zápas, kámo, bude špica. Druhý zápas. Je to losable, no, 3v3 se zbraněma. Kolik zbraní dropli? Jednu nebo dvě? Jednu jenom. Nebo? Co? Otočka začíná, čo? Otočka začíná. A Verno by měl být Generation, že si neznáte, no, teď jsem o to za ksich, kámo. Ale Verno je jakoby... jedna z top sov na světě. Kámo. Tak to jaký eko projebali? Ty MIBR? Co ti jebe? Neviděl jsem dnešní intro, či podívám se na dnešní intro potom. No je tapíku, W. Mně je 24 čerstvě, tak jsme skoro stejně starý tapíku. Jsem měl to štěstí, kam jsem začal, když mi bylo 20. To byla ta největší krize, kámo. Chápeš. Takže některé věci jsem chytil fakt jakože... Ukázat, když jsem smutný, tam jsem toho nedal víc. Znáš to. Johannes. Uj, kámo, ale co to je? Tu je ten zápas aimově, jakože tím nechutnost. Good luck, Sipl, good luck. Verno 18 masterclass a měl nějaký dobrý ty? Šipky? Nebo to bylo jenom jakoby střelecký jakoby masterclass? Zrovna ta je Haven, kámo, to je jeden z mála Havenů, co zatím hrál, kámo, to byly třeba 2 Haveny, plně se hrály zatím na celých Champions, kámo, já jsem jeden mysl. Mě jak šlo staré. Haven, volem, když se něco přiučil. Dobrý darty. Dobrý určitě měl, kámo, jestli měl nějaký nový, víš? No ta meta na tom Havenu už je docela zažitá. Co mu lidi říká za 10 let, že dávají pozdě, nikdy není pozdě os? Jako jo, Paťo, ale taky rozdíl, jestli bych dal teďko Nvidia, nevím na kolika Nvidia, na 700. A meta je něco takovýho, kámo. Nebo tenkrát, že bych jí dal za 100. No. Ale kdo ví, třeba jednou bude Nvidia, že jo. Krát 7 zase. O ještě víc, kámo, Nvidia, ne? Ne, já jsem se naučil, kámo, už na to nedívat se, to je nejlepší, kámo, to je o svoboda jako kot. Já se na to podívám jednou za 14 dní, jednou za měsíc. Ani vlastně nevím, proč se na to dívám, jen tak se na to jako, ani to prostě neanalyzuju, to nechám to tam hnít, kámo. Svoboda jak svině. A kde Odin, kámo, proč nehrál Odin ty BLG? Podívej se na své podporovatele, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7, 6-7. To není náhoda, kámo. To není náhoda. Že byli jsme v obchodáku pro jídlo. Koupil jsem si, kámo, originální fizzy drink, kámo. Koko. Melon koko. Je mi znovu 12 let. Jako pít. Zubiska v čilu, kámo, zubiska víc než v čilu. Fuj, to je sračka strašná. Na zdraví. Já začnu každý den vždycky 9 a 15:30. Je to seš, kámo, chycenej z miku. To seš chycenej, no. Zubiska mi řekla, že super, ani se mě neptala, poprvé za život se mě neptala, jestli používáme zubní kartáček, protože používám. Takže prostě řekla, že super. Jenom mi odvrtala zubní kámen, to prostě. Já jako s tím nic neudělám, s tím na to nějak trpím, ale mi přijde, že mám prostě, vždycky mám zubní kámen, takže mi to vždycky jenom za 2 minuty, vole, projede pusinku. A je hotovo. Ptal jsem se jí na to bělení a řekla, že 300 za zub a že to je od 5 do 5. To actually bych čekal, vole, jak jsem zvyklý na ty ceny od zubaře, bych čekal je horší, kámo. Máš to třeba na 2 roky, kámo, hotovo. A ono ti zkontroluje, jestli jakoby ty zuby jsou ready na to a podle toho, jak moc jsou ready, tak podle toho použije procenta peroxidu, pičovinky, ochrání ti dásně, je to prostě krásné. Ale neřeknu vám, kámo, co mám zubařku, ale abyste k ní chodili všichni a neměli by termíny, vole. Těším se, jak svině na Fnatic. To je? Co bylo, kámo? Ta hra nefiluje dobře, chat. A to je Čína number 1 seed, by the way. To je number 1 seed Číny, kámo. A zatím, kámo, to nevypadá hezky. Dneska po 16 hodin work koukáme Fnatic Gym, počká os. Kámo, ty budeš mít peněz, Paťo. Jako agro skvělý, ale nejhorší read na světě. Paťo, ty budeš mít peněz za 16 hodin s kundičkama.
Quick TP across the map though.
Joj.
And they're gonna have bodies here because of MIBR taking their sweet time scaling forward. Now there's a smoke.
Koukej na ty smoky, mě zajímá, jak smokujou, kámo. To je takovej pucle, kámo, který ještě nemám solved. Podle mě žádný tým nemá 100% solved. Jak fungovat na tom A-siteu ohledně smoků a spaceu. Vidíš? Jak to dojebali MIBR? A BLG double push shortů není špatný, ne? Jako Kreone. Ježiši. Aspas se viděl už movíčku, ale... Chat, by the way. Budu to dál testovat, ale dneska jsem měl nejlepší recovery spánek za ty 3 týdny, co používám VOOP. To jsem spal 7,5 hodiny jenom a dal jsem si prostě poprvý MADMONQ Zen, kámo, fully. Tak jak se má. A recovery, kámo, běsní, vole. Takže uvidím, jestli to bude celý týden, co budu dávat. Ale actually mě to překvapilo, kámo. Jakože nedal jsem tam, kámo, nikde jsem nic nezadával, že jsem prostě, víš, jakoby, ten VOOP nedostal, ta aplikace nedostala informaci, že něco měním ve své spací rutině. A mám recovery, že 90, nevím kolik procent, vole. Že mi to nějak, kámo, zlepšilo, prostě, heart rate, že jsem měl žádný stres přes spaní, nic mě neprobouzelo, že jsem dlouhý REM sleep jak svině. Vůbec apka nebo náramek, obojí. Náramek propojený s apkou. Čau Aqua. Go Simon. To je unlucky ten dart.
Cortezia left in a 1v2 and BLG's numbers advantage is just too much.
That was insane. The fact that Cortezia wasn't
What the fuck, to je tak divný zápas, kámo. Tohle je nejdivnější zápas, zatím co jsem koukal, kámo. Dejte mi Fnatic.
So much riding off these 2 kills from Rusia.
That's a I don't know how many rounds.
Jsou 3 hodinky.
Where BLG are forced into like this awkward spot where somebody has to step up.
Nejsou hodinky, tam je jaký chip. Tam je takový snímač, kámo, vidíš, jak to bliká?
You look at someone across the stage should be able to do a bit of the same and
Jak to bliká furt, kámo. Mají to mega dobře udělat, jako to tady nabíjím. Mám tady nabíječku. Čum. Mám teďko v kompu nabíječku danou. Tak to nabíjím, jo. Tohle nabíjím nabíječku, aby tě to jakoby, abyste nemusel sundavat. Tak to, kámo, nabíjí se tak, že to zasuneš, kámo. Teď se nabíjí jakoby ten senzor, vole. Aby to permanentně snímalo prostě ty data. A za 3 dny, chat, za 3 dny vám ukážu, jak jsem doopravdy starý, actually. Za 4. Za 4 dny to bude měsíc, co to mám. A unokne se mi nějaký health span, co to jmenuje, kámo. A to mě jakoby z toho měsícu snímání má zjistit, jak doopravdy jsem jakoby starý, chápeš? Jestli jakoby nedělám nějaký věci špatně, aby mi nebylo, kámo, prostě 30 třeba, vole. Sipl, to je paráda, kámo, zapni stream a jezdí, vole. Kolik to stojí? Jen kolik stojí to nejlevnější předplatný? 180 euro na rok? Z takovýho, kámo? No, říkám pičovinu, nevím, kámo. Jak to jsem zapomněl. 3 týdny to mám dost. Nebo ne? Možná 2, kámo. Možná 2.
This A-pop coming in hot.
And the sensors go down. Cortezia has a lot to deal with here. 2 members of BLG have taken this space.
Náramek nestojí nic, náramek dostaneš tomu členství. A mají takhle vymyšlený fintičku, víš?
This is wild.
Neff has to deliver here, and Cortezia has no idea. Verno committing to getting the plant down. Neff has his ult. YZ does too. Now Russia creeping forward.
Russia
gets the best of RT and looking for a second and delivers. The paranoid will connect onto Aspas. It's another slaughter as BLG emerge on top.
That's just unreal. MIBR know exactly what BLG are going to do, right? They're looking for the flanks, trying to deal with it.
Dlouho se lokirnulo tu hru. Ten komp, co má MIBR, je dobrý hnus, by the way, ne? Co budu MIBR dělat na defendu, kámo? Dneska se narazil, jsem dával glitch s minim, že mechanicky jde. Kvůli čemu? Oni se potkali s minim, nebo jen tak mluvili o minim? Ale je tak. Jako... Opakoval bych se, kámo. Mini je mastodont, no. Máš one peak nebo live peak? Uprostřed mám.
YZ to get up here into mid. But it's a bit awkward for MIBR, who have spread out 3-0-2 around the map. Yeah, they have control of mains, but you can't really go anywhere.
Postava paralen. Atagot. A halu žerčím hrajou sovu než Vejtku.
Who has technically been responsible for holding this
side
by himself previously.
And now YZ all the way down into bot mid. This is a guy that doesn't rotate to flood retake. He will start pushing forward once his teammates get information. That's a second player now spotted in main. And here goes Wisey.
Fuj! Fuj, kurva. Tohle se o hráčích všech nadhodil Miniho. Halus, kámo. Jako o tom, kdo by mohl... Jako o hráči, jako rankedových. Jak se actually podíval na záznam té konverzace. Ale jako Mini je jeden z nejlepších hráčů v Evropě, no. To jakoby... To je... real věc. Příští rok jakoby big things. Každý rok big things, kámo. Příští rok taky big things. Tady big zkrasbadu, to je 2-0, kámo. To je 2-0, ne? To bude ten zápas, legit. Sipl, nemluv na mě svahilsky, kámo, mluv na mě česky. Všichni hrajou ten malej plusík. Hodziny, hodziny. Děkuju, Lamáko, děkuju. Let me cook, kámo, let me cook. Let me na jízdce teďko, ale... Bude si řízeček, kamaráde, bílkovi nosy! Čím na něj, kámo. No, jako není zase tak tlustej, ale... Je dobrý. Budu velký jak Patagot, kámo.
Looking for a little bit more damage as Wisey looks to join the fight, looks to join the site.
Yeah, Knight got tagged up by it. So now with K-Knight onto the site, MIBR slow things down, start to creep back up into yard before they move on in.
BLG creep back just a bit, playing this dangerous push and pull.
Jsem malej, ale s velkým.
Another round to double flank for
BLG.
This time Osboss is holding, but he's only got 20 HP in main.
That's so much to ask of. He still gets his one though, and he buys time, and gives MIBR the numbers advantage. As the spike ticks away.
Já nevím, si špatně pamatuju prostě. Já nevím, si špatně pamatuju, nebo to je tím crossem, nebo čím to je. A mně ten Aspas nepřijde, kámo, aimově tak dobrý, jak byl, ty vole. Čau, Chris.
You leave K-Knight out there to maybe try to get a kill, one off of his ult, but no. The weapon's more valuable.
Simple bude mít jako 17, kámo. Co to by?
In motion. So, we're all tied up now. These teams getting a little bit better of a read against each other on this opening half, but there's only 2 more rounds left to play on this side.
Aspoň dneska mám 4 crosser. Mu to nesedlo možná, no. Tohle je strašně dobrý strat, to už mě podnikl, jak já týho týmu čet, ten paranoia Vejlej Dash. Punch back in the mouth. Aspas je dobrý furt, jako dobrý, jo. Ale my tady nehrajeme na to, jestli jsi dobrý, kámo, my hrajeme na to, jestli jsi výborný. Na tom turnaji to musí být výborný, aby to mohl vyhrát. Čau Luigi. A podle mě dřív Aspas byl výborný. Individuálně. Aimově, movementově. Kámo. Já mám tak po půl roce mám řízek, nedělám si prdele. To je banger. To je něco, kámo.
But MIBR have done their homework. It's not like it's a surprise by any means, and while a lot of the time, kind of like Wisey's going to be able to outskill.
Vala hodil na IG prejdu takového z 2, ale piču. Že bude Phantom, ty kokot. To babáš? Mimo baget, croissanty.
You got the flash set up. You imagine Aspas will double dash out.
trick for Osboss is trying to catch Levius when he's got util in hand, trying to stall out the choke. So Levius going up towards heaven, played a little more passively and more of a...
Já jsem na tom mapu, první mapu. Kurva, já jsem na tom první mapu, neviděl jsem první mapu, kámo.
Oh, he's going heaven! Oh, and Levius is there to greet him! That's crazy!
And now K9 filling in on the space wisely with the
Chápu myšlenku, ale bylo to trochu greedy, co udělal Aspas. On vyhodil CT a chtěl CT chytit dashem na Heaven, ale ten Heaven je jediný místo, kde se schovají lidi, kteří nejsou ultnutý nebo cokoliv, chápeš? Kdyby došel na CT, tak asi better. Pičo, Verno. Vernos.
Not sure what MIBR have seen in terms of where players have been playing on the B side. I don't think Levius has been playing up into heaven a whole lot, so maybe that was the read, as there's no one here, we can just get posted up there. Levius was even...
Ale flash dobrý, ale actually. To dobrý movement od toho Leviuse. Čau, Zayn.
I mean, I don't know how much faster they could have gone. I felt like that was full octane.
Yeah, and you'll sometimes see things like this, the timings on exec pieces. The ever so slight left, because that's just a difference of a half second between Osboss getting there. That can be...
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Tohle je dobrá strata.
Now Paranoid traded, Shenum trying to respond, will. But it might be too little too late. Cortezia is in a beautiful spot, will get his kill.
Tohle světko neuděláš, no.
There's a shot at this.
This one is weird. BLG have to be worried about.
Otázka je, jestli to je potřeba dělat, kámo, na core defendu takovouhle věc. Tak na ascentu, kámo, tak na ascentu, kdyby si pušoval Ačko ze sova ulti, no prostě jako můžeš to udělat, můžu to nasypat, a potřebuješ to, abys vyhrál kolo na defendu. Ano.
How do they choose to play this?
Překvapíš tím? Ano. Potřebuješ to?
Now the onus is on BLG.
Nevím.
Only one on the flank. That means this fight is everything here.
Můžete dojebat kolo? Ano.
YZ no wall, no stun. Spots one. Shenum 70 HP.
Nice simple.
Tough spot. Cortezia waiting for the first
Orb line up.
for it to arrive.
Myslel jsem, jak to házel, kámo, ale Orb dobrý, no.
Cortezia left alone, 1v3.
A byl mu hovnu.
As BLG will get the 7th.
YZ just ran straight through the poison. Not an ounce of fear in his body. BLG dominating at the start of that round.
Byl tam vidět ten line-up?
You can see in the replay as well. It's that same set piece like you mentioned. The net just making it so Verno had nowhere to go.
Nebyl jsem si to.
Steady aim from the duelist too. Out of YZ, we mentioned he's been a little quiet, but certainly comes to life there in that last round.
BLG have woken up, well and truly. Easing into this half, that's what we expected.
7-5 half for BLG. Let's send it down over to the stage. Lou is standing by with a very special guest. Lou, take it away.
Et les Champions Paris sont un moment qui se vit en famille avec la main.
Nový outfit, come on.
Getting rid of interviewing moms here in Paris, and Elizabeth, Verno's mom, you are no exception. So first of all, welcome to France. It's a pleasure to have you here. Merci. Very nice mercy from you too. And my first question is going to be, do we have a
Jak máma? Však Vernovi je 18, vole.
What are your thoughts? Do you have a favorite agent maybe?
I tried to play Valorant and I asked Verno to teach me and he said, yeah, no.
He refused to teach his mom Valorant? Are you serious?
To learn Sova.
Yeah, so Sova is your favorite Asian, right? And he's doing awesome with it currently.
Ale to je hodně retired baddie, kámo. To je hodně retired baddie, no, actually, Baťo.
Elle a déjà essayé de jouer à Valorant, et ben elle nous dit oui, j'ai déjà essayé, j'ai demandé à Verno de me coacher et il a complètement refusé. Je voulais apprendre un petit peu Sova, etc., mais ça a été un non catégorique de la part de son fils. And second question, I heard that you got, to hang out a little bit with the team, with MIBR.
Někoho, kdo by ji naučil Valorant, jsem to pochopil, Patios.
I love this team. This team feels like a family, including all of the Brazilian moms that have welcomed me and all of the players in the community. What I think about the team, seeing them last night, is that this team has heart, this team has grit, and they came to win.
And I think we can definitely that on the server and also here. Donc on a pu voir, la maman a pu rencontrer un petit peu l'équipe MIBR hier et donc est-ce que les garçons étaient confiants? Qu'est-ce qu'elle a senti comme mood? Et c'est une vraie famille, on se sent vraiment comme à la maison. Les garçons ont de la confiance, ils ont envie de gagner, ça se voit. Et même
Bonnie Blue v 50. Já vám neuráží tady vernou mámu.
Thank you so much, Elizabeth. Verno is very lucky to have you as his mom, and we're gonna see if the family MIBR on Road.
The family buff, the grit, the confidence.
Neviděl jsem Pabla, čoko. Já jsem mi nedělal domácí úkoly do školy, jen aby mi dala pořádně. Easy, down bet.
Honestly, I think right now we're highlighting Osboss, which is fair. I think he started off that half with a couple of big rounds, showed up in a major way. But I think on the other side of things, I'm just thinking of the amount of rounds K-Knight just straight up won for his team. The amount of like hero moments from members on BLG between K-Knight and Neff in particular was really major. And I think the reason why they come into this half leading has been individual moments of brilliance.
Hezky jedeš bomby, Siple, hezky jedeš bomby. Ještě, vole.
The moments that separate the good from the great. BLG hanging on to this 2-round lead. Now on the attacking side, now it's on them to try to dictate some of the pace. As Osboss has already taken an aggro line, already gets the best of Levius. That's a great start.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. No threat on the A side of the map whatsoever. And now over on B, well, if you try to exec in here, Artsen's been holding on to the knife, so that's an easy way to shut down any chance of execing.
Oni nemají sentinel na ty MIBR, by the way.
Not to die. Step one.
Gets the info.
Hodně zero, jak uhrajou. Zefend.
Okay, so MIBR maybe layering their utility at the same time a bit too much there. The wall goes down, the snake bite and the knife. And yet it is enough to encourage BLG to step
outside of the map. Přesně tak. Zvoneček.
They should know that too, given that only
že máš zvoneček.
The thing is, MIBR can be happy to
odběra zvoneček.
because of Osboss's position. Now they know there's 2 players at least in mid. Osboss has
full util Sova.
Pesky little drone.
Huh?
You're right, Osboss hasn't moved at all, so they're going to rotate back into the man who started the round. Finding a kill with 1 bullet, if I'm not mistaken. Make that 2.
Dobrý angle.
I mean, even look at the damage on K-Knight and YZ, 40 and 70 apiece.
Dobrý angle, to mohl nasypat víc, ale.
Still kind of thrown in disarray here. I mean, she is still playing all the way back B.
Yeah, you've got 20 seconds to exec A on virtually no HP. Your only guy with health is not with the rest of the team.
And for as much as we've talked about Osboss, Verno has been
Kámo, týpek hraje, vole, Valorant nebo Legolasa. Right click prostě na piču.
The round is secured. With 8 seconds left, it's all a matter of time. And as the hourglass strips away, the spike is out of reach. This was a little messy.
Wait, but, they could let him live here, and it's actually worse for them. They go ahead and hunt down the kill anyways. Think of another ult on for Artsen.
They got their pistol though, and that was something that they needed, something that they struggled with. I mean, all of stage 2.
Yeah, you think, yeah, stage 2 was a struggle. This game though, won the first.
To ten Ghost, kámo, prostě, ale. To je must buy.
Osboss may have donated a Phantom over to the other team. Well,
Fuj.
I think we'll see MIBR.
Fuj, tak to je humus.
Get this guy. Nice. That's really good comms.
Honestly, brother tried. He tried.
Johans.
Yeah, we will see what the adjustments are. This time it's just a Marshall in the hands of Osboss.
You can't give them a Phantom if you don't buy the Phantom.
Right, but
what?
You can still lose the opening pick.
Co dal, kámo?
Another one with the frenzy. Our team trying to fill in. Why is he on
the smoke hood?
Our team both side by side, getting the best of BLG. Just a tiny sliver of health for the remaining controller.
Co mu prošel Tehalus?
Verno will get the kill. MIBR will tie us up at 7 apiece.
Yeah, he's quick with it there.
Dude, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to ask it. I'm going to say it.
Say it.
Where was this team in stage 2?
I don't know, but not Los Angeles, California.
Good night. I mean, they're just playing with so much confidence. And again, I think
do školy nechodím. Aha.
The MIBR of old would have
ale vysvětlení na leda, jak je. Tyhle pikem BLG, jo.
3 rookies to the America stage, let alone the champion stage.
Yeah, I'd argue 4. I mean, our team wasn't there at time. Oh, I love this set! Oh. It's beautiful! Osboss gets 3!
Replays double lineup nebo ne, vole.
OG and he just comes in and kills them all. That was unbelievable.
Jako ta Veiley prostě je OP, no. Ta Veiley prostě je OP, kámo. Tohle je nejlepší období na to, být duelist main, kámo. Ty můžeš hrát prostě tolik duelistů. Ty můžeš dělat tolik věcí, kámo.
Aspas is back. Look at this play. I mean, he does it all himself. There's a paranoia too, but everyone's trying to jump. They get paranoid. They're trying to jump away, and they're just caught in the air.
A ten gap close je šílený, kámo. Ten dash je šíleně dlouhý.
And that dog was the bonus. A completely different story to the first half. Back and forth, messy, sloppy. No, this is devastation.
Kámo.
Onto the field and already getting a kill.
Ten slow se nedá skoro dožnout, no. Je obrovský a co to popne. A zase dostanou slow. Nedostanou. Kámo.
This is danger. This is not secure. This is not safe.
And the Annihilation just plucked up Shenum. This is now BLG with a numbers advantage. They don't have
Od BLG se jim daří v kolách, kde by se jim dařit nemělo, a pak se jim nedaří tam, kde by se jim dařit mělo, ale co to je? Co? Ty nezdělal kromě zubaře? Hrál jsem deathmatchem, hrál jsem content, byl jsem pro jídlo, přišel jsem sem. That's it, fella. Ten den pro mě teprve začíná, kámo. Když jsem toho tolik nefitnul. Ptal jsem se na to bělení obliž Vangel a říkala, že jakoby spoustu je toho v pohodě, ale že aktuálně se normálně člověk má odstít na nevím kolik, že třeba 5 a že to přes noc bělení je schopný ti udělat jakoby 4. A je to takový, prostě to může podráždit dásně, že to nikdo nekontroluje. A že volně prodávaný bělidla jsou max do 1% peroxidu. A že ona tam dělává kolem 16%, no. Já jsem se jí ptal, jakože jestli dělá bělení, jsem to viděl právě na internetu, teďko, a to. Že jsou pásky a to, a jaký je tam rozdíl, no. A ona říkala, že jako to může poleptat dásně dost, no. Takže jsem objednaný na listopad. Za jeden zub 300 brej stojí, takže docela v pohodě cena ještě. No to, jak drahý bývají zubaři. Máš, kámo, dělá se to prý od 5 do 5 jakoby, takže 20 zubů. Za 6 000, až tak na 2 roky. Když si vzpomenu, kámo, když jsme dělali kanálky, jeden zub stál 5 000, kámo, kanálky, vole, a pičovinky. Takže come on. Nechci jen 2 přední, jen 2 zadní, kámo. Jen 2 zadní, kámo. Tohle je co, ale Ardzín to trochu přecítil, ne? Co udělal Ardzín, kámo? Jako Fisker. Týpek řve Perfect Boys a víš, jak umřel tu kolo. Co ti je, vole? Děkuju Fisker, jak to sluší, to bude dneska otazník. To nejsi na soukromé klinice, hádám, jsem. Prostě kámo, go ten zubařka. Spravila mi dojebaný zuby zrovnátek, kanálky, všechny kazy, dneska mi dělala dentální hygienu zadarmo, kámo. Cinema. Zapomněl na Urza, to byla tragédie, co udělal týpek. Člověk Erik, pobíčím. U tebe. Já byl na kanálkách, jsem tam měl nekrózu, mi to fixoval hnus. Nevím, co všechno se počítá jako nekroza, ale já jsem to, no, taky bez nervů v zubu, jakoby. Že mi to prolezlo v tom jednom kvůli rovnatkům, prostě tak divně, hluboko vol, že jí prostě mi musela jakoby vyndat nervy ze zubu, kámo. Počkej, jestli máš zubu na Kicku, tě naučil ještě přirážku? No. Nevím, se Uzbek se začínají bolet z toho. A na to pozor prostě, kamo. Já jsem taky měl jakoby strach ze zubařů a bylo to jenom kvůli tomu, že jsem měl špatnou zkušenost, jakoby. Že prostě legit, když najdeš dobrou zubařku nebo zubaře lidskýho, tak kámo, přestane být to. Já jsem legit těším normálně. Já jsem to legit dneska těšil, vole. Nein, Kerik. Jo, betanok. Jestli něco na zubu nebo dostaneš na zuby? Jo, si jeblej.
First it was Artsine, and you're right, now Shenum. Tucked.
30 seconds left.
Waiting for the trap to be sprung. Shenum gets two. Artsine gets another. And now the Hunter's Fury results in a flawless round win for MIBR.
50-50 angle je sračka. Průvní rong. Čauko Sejsl.
Playing the macro of the map. Okay, you have no mid space. You got to just run an exec onto a site. But it also means they have no way to break that choke point. And Artsin, who was the player that survived the team in bot mid, runs all.
Jestli máš hezkou zubařku, jaká bude, se těšíš? Kamo. Je to mamka od rodiny. Řekl bych, že to je pohledná mladá paní, bych řekl velice korektně.
And again, it's a brutal start for BLG.
And another ping, so Artsin's looking for more. I mean, he's mowing him down through the walls, Doug.
Verno looking to get in on the action, have a little bit of fun himself. Lucio, though, finds a little bit of timing. Cortezia is the one with the op now.
Yeah, of course the Vipers got the operator. Osboss wanted to have a rifle round.
BLG have lost control of the situation right now.
Můj jediný vztah nyní je s Valorantem a s Bohem, čet. To je jakoby... Co? To mu dal za 150, normální asist, tam to... ten Omen.
Coming up to join this MIBR squad. A lights out kickoff stage 1. And now with the operator of all things. Dominating in this round as well. Combo of him and Artsin just dismantled.
To je tak nechutně defense side mapa, vole. Já jsem tam MG Fitmana, proč bych tam potkal MG Fitmana, kamo. No nebydlí úplně, vole.
Does he stick that ult? Yes, he does. No smoke to conceal it either. Ooh. So a little game of cat and mouse as Verno rotates around looking for...
Verno's looking the wrong way.
Yeah, he's looking for the hunter, but he's the prey. But things might turn. Little ring around the rosy.
No
Will
way.
Verno find
no
him? Yes,
way.
he will! Everything going right for MIBR. And now they can turn their attention back over to A, where yes, all of BLG are. The wall will cause problems, but They're just fighting through it, and it's exactly what MIBR need. Cortezia gets to Neff, isolated.
Mess.
Trying to hang on to this spike, trying to hang on to position, trying to hang
Tomáš
on
vykřičný
to
kick.
But his grip is slipping.
Co napsal? Kdo? Richie?
It slipped from BLG's.
Že to se ani nemusí snažit, když jsi taky pohledný vysoký pán.
It's just a position that no one would have thought we'd be in. At the very least, not in this fashion. Right from the 13-2 scoreline on Haven to now.
To ne? Tak jsem myslel tu zprávu. CST a BLG hrajou jak tier 3 tým, no. Mně nepřijde ani, že by MIBR hráli nějak insane. Nevím, kam jsem jenom hater, ale Haven jsem neviděl, a ten Korod mi přijde jako jeden z nejhorších zápasů, co jsem viděl na těch Champions. Moje zubarka vypadá jak zhnitá krysa. No. Krysa prostě, no. Mají na pravou ultinu, ukáž?
Running 5 players straight into a Viper's pit.
They can bully him out of this if there's not enough help.
Special.
Cortezia must be careful here. The drone to lead the way, and now the spam through, and once again, an obfuscation of sightlines, the paranoia through. And as one goes down, you see BLG hang on to theirs.
MIBR have to be worried though. Mid space is a question mark they're not really sure about. They don't know if people have stepped up into the pit. Now the net as well, they're stuck in the open.
The paranoia is going to tag onto Shenum. He's got to be careful here. The Hunter's Fury will join.
Valorant, kámo, vidíte někdo, co se děje? Já ne. Já mám mladou zubařku. Kámo, já jsem měl na ty rovnátka, úplně prvotně, první jsem měl 2 zubařky na rovnátka. A ta první, kámo, to jsem byl ještě malý bobík, já jsem úplně zblázněnej z toho. To bylo kolik, to bylo, kámo, 14. Já jsem tam nějakou, co zrovna dodělala vejšku, že jo. Ty blázne. Čau, Boucek. Ještě samozřejmě, kámo, mají, vole, Hollywood smile vždycky, viď? To je prostě, vole, to musí mít. Popičik jel tady od neonky.
But MIBR are able to invest into this. They still have Nodin, they still have an op, and they still have Heartzine's ult.
Is the solution just be execs for BLG? Is that really it? You know, they've played a few of these rounds where they step up into B main and then drop down that sensor to stop any refight coming through from MIBR. So this time it isn't that acceleration into the site again.
Burák, Giga Burák. Kámo, nový klip od Flygana jsem viděl, nový klip od Flygana, určitě jste viděli taky, kámo. Z Dead by Daylight. Giga Burák, kámo, giga jsem se nasmal. Pustíme si hned, tak dohraju tady to.
One big difference here is this. Artin was on the other side of the map previously. Now he can stall this hit out with his ult.
And that deadlock wall instantly busted down by Verno's Odin.
The question is, do BLG just wait for this to go out and then they re-hit?
They have to. They have no space anywhere else on the map. They've decided to stop playing for lurks or anything. Now they're
GG chat.
Spotted tells MIBR everything they need to know.
They're not rotating off of it.
Both teams know what's about to go down is a matter of skill.
They're not scurrying back B. The spam through from Verno.
Ještě reveal hodí jako nad main. Pokud je dobrý teda.
Cortezia trying to do a bit of the same, but Ospas gets 2 with the up. Verno gets another. And now the ult popped. Artsine paves the way.
Hotovo.
K-Knight left in a 1v3. And he...
Není nad to stát 40 vteřin v mainu a potom mít znova z toho mainu. To bylo strašně dobrý, kámo, od BLG. To bylo jak můj ranker, no.
It would be the most incredible Cinderella story of all time, I think. A team that had not even made playoffs in Americas. If you check, it's 9th/10th place finish for MIBR.
To je halus, kámo.
And yet they have come on to the global stage, the first champions for 4 of these players. And they have shut out China's best team.
off the backs of Aspas and Verno. And really, I mean,
BLG to vůbec nenapojili, mi přišlo, kámo.
Those two were stars.
I mean, map 1 was the masterclass from Verno, and map 2, Aspas back on the big stage, playing the Waylay for the first time. And it's that ace round that BLG will not forget for a long, long time.
Yeah, and you know, maybe a bit removed far away from really painting this as a Cinderella story, but they have taken their first step. And I think the question now has to be asked, given that they just took out the #1 seed from the CN region, do you believe?
Jaký nový trend, že first seedy prohrávají proti first, kámo.
There was no reason to believe in them before this, unless you're counting on the history of a guy like Aspas, or you're, you know, gambling on, of course they're going to make some improvements in the time between stage 2 and this event.
And I do want to too, because remember, you mentioned it earlier, Verno joined after kickoff.
Totální pískanice, kámo.
Joins MIBR, and all of a sudden, who are these guys? They might just be back. We're going to throw it down to Lou on the stage for the Verizon post-match interview. Take it away.
Et après cette belle victoire de MIBR, je vais pouvoir rejoindre Cortizia. Cortizia, congratulations. I'm going to have to borrow you for a second after this beautiful victory.
Ten týpek vzadu.
Congratulations. Thank you, merci. So my first question is going to be easy. We have a multilingual team here. You guys are
Jestli přijde ebook,
your native language is Portuguese.
dojdi na Kick, kámo, dneska vyřešíme to přes formula ROS.
Keep it in English for everyone, you know, to understand.
Zítra to budu to.
It happens sometimes that you switch to Portuguese in clutches. How do you handle all of this?
So usually when we are playing like me and Shannon inside the clutch, we call in Portuguese, but we are trying to call more in English because of Verno. Now he's the IGL and he needs to understand what is going on in the minimap. So we are trying to improve more in the English. So
Verno IGL.
Next time, but I think you guys are doing pretty good indeed. Donc on a une team qui est multilingue.
18, vole.
Donc qui parle portugais mais aussi qui parle anglais. Donc comment est-ce qu'on gère ça? Est-ce qu'en clutch ça leur arrive de parler portugais? Bah oui. Quand Cortizia est avec Zenom en extrémité, c'est vrai qu'ils parlent un peu portugais, mais ils essayent de passer à l'anglais pour aider un petit peu Verno qui est IGL. And my second question is, I'm very proud to see a mix of Brazilian and French attitude and trash talk here on the stage in Paris from you. But how do you maintain focus? How do you maintain lock-in when you send the chair and everything like in the air?
So I think every team needs a guy like me to hype up the team. We see Baby Bay, we see Zelzis, so it's really important, and I am this guy.
So you are this guy, and it helps you lock in actually. It seems like you're playing better when you do this.
Yeah, it really helps me a lot, but I think it's more for my team. It helps me, but helps more my team.
You do it more for your teammates indeed. Donc on le voit se lever. Cortizia, il est célèbre.
Jaký parfény. Mám, kámo, na Hero.
Rester focus, à continuer de cliquer quand on fait ça. Je le fais pour ma team. Il y a toujours un coéquipier qui fait ça dans l'équipe. Que ce
No, mi anglicky je týden velká ostuda.
Dans mon équipe, c'est moi. Je le fais pour mes.
Záleží, kámo.
I think that's really beautiful. Thank you.
Pro ně to je, kdybys řekl, kámo, že seš ostuda, že neumíš, vole, portugalsky. Jazyček! Jirka, jazyček, vole, na kameru, píči, co to bylo? Kokot. Ukaž ten klip, tak podíváme se na klip a podíváme se na intro dnešního dne. Čau Petros. Čau chlapi. Tak nejdřív teda mého oblíbeného streamera, tady vytasím na vás. Tady musíte mít přehled. Chci říct, než ten klip pustím, jednu důležitou věc. Že tady musíte mít přehled na té mapě, OK? Pokud ztratíte přehled na té mapě, tak se můžou dít špatné věci, kámo. Ne fakt, ale jako. Ne fakt, musíte mít přehled na té mapě. Musí mít tady přehled na mapě, kámo.
Tady musíte mít přehled o té mapě, jak a nemám přehled o mapě a takhle to dopadá.
Ty vole.
Tady musíte mít přehled o té mapě, jak a nemám přehled o mapě a takhle to dopadá.
Ty vole. Se po...
Kámo, vem si, je prostě. Jsi rodič, kámo? Uděláš si senátora. A on o 30 let později ve tvém baráku dělá tohle, kámo. Takhle řve. Jak magor absolutní, kámo. Jumanji do piči. Jaj, jež to je top. Miluju, kámo. Unleashnuté lidi na streamu. Mám tady ještě něco. Mám tady edit, který se mi líbil, ty ukaž? W edit. Je to ono nebo ne? Generation. To je 2 roky starý tyhle ty věci, vole. To je ten klač, kámo. Magor, skurvení magor.
Zupi zupi zoo, zupi zupi zoo, zupi zupi zoo, zupi zoo, zupi zupi zoo. Co to je za fotku? Real, kámo, real fotka. Real. Já jsem tě včera ukrást, kámo, nemohl jsem to najít, kámo, našel jsem to, nebo naplně, ne?
Jumpy's hands are busy, but the 3-on-2 is there. Desi will come back up.
Ah? Co ti jebe, kámo?
Wingman.
To je celkem crazy, ne, chat? Celkem crazy piece, jakoby. Crazy piece jsem tady s vámi šernul. Zuby, zuby, zů. Zuby, zuby, zů. No. Koko? Koko? Červený.
Right here.
No.
Shot dart. Revealing area.
Alright.
Koko?
There they are. Right here.
Koko?
Jestli budeš parfémy?
Koko.
Shot dart.
Nemám nic, dost tak special, ale... Alright.
Koko. Koko?
Revealing area. There they are. Shot dart.
Kokot? Zuby, zuby, zů. Kup si Dior, sáváš žádný pokoj? Jo, stop do Dior, sáváš hejt. Emptík. Na YouTube vlastně nemůžu tady pouštět tolik, vole, pičovinky, viď? Whatever. Vezmu si to intro. Jinak, Hollow Knight vypadá jak super hra, ne? Celkem chatči. Podle mě ta hra je skvělá, kámo.
Reálně rozmrdám, tohle mě fakt kurevsky nebaví. Do píče! Já to reálně rozmrdám.
Myslíš, že ho to baví, nebo to hra je jenom by to musí hrát?
Já to reálně rozmrdám, tohle mě fakt kurevsky nebaví. Do píče! Dej mi normálně, zabiješ bose. Z toho bose, takhle spadne item, nebo se otevře česta. Otevřeš jí, vezmeš si věc, nová zbraň, můj bože, vylepšení, +1 výdeči, teďko můžu bojovat lépe se svými nepřáteli a můžu tady vymrdat s těma placementama laviček. Hollow Knightovi. Právě si otevřel cestu anální utrpení a... Já to reálně rozmrdám, tohle mě fakt kurevsky nebaví. Do píče!
Nevím, jestli to byl nutně klip Fark, ale vypadá, že ho to fakt sere. Chat, lifehack na... nevím, jestli to můžu ukázat, týpek tam je píčo bez trička. Tak vám ho ukážu na Kicku, když tak, vole. Já jsem vám ukázal lifehack na bílkoviny, vole, ale... týpek tam není oblečený, kurva. Co tu ještě máme? Asi nic, či půjdeme se podívat na to. Kámo, tohle mohl Dušan by the way, tohle mohl Dušan chat.
Kámo, to som ja, keď dropnem solo do rankedu vo Valorante, toto je môj teammate. To ti hovorím, toto je môj teammate, hrá Reinu, instaloko a má 0-200.
Ty si to. Zrúdo.
To je šakus.
Kámo, to som ja, keď dropnem solo...
Unleashed, kámo, to se v něm probudil ten 2016 Dušan, kámo. Tady se to probudil starý Dušan. Tady mám dobrý úchylárny uložený chat na tom TikToku, některý, vole. Některý jakoby věci tady jsou hodně jako úchylný, no. Třeba tohle.
I have the spike.
One's left.
Uchylce má, kámo, line-upy na deadlock ultinu, vole. Tohle to. To může být hodně dobrý, no, kámo. Line-ups on disk. Joj. Unik materiál, kámo.
I have the spike.
One's left.
Podívám se. Spíš ne, kámo. Co to je intro chat? To stihneme akorát, ne ještě. Another chance. Paris, day 4.
Now that I'm in Champions, it means everything to me. I remember the first time I have the chance to play in Champs. Last chance qualifier 2022. I lost 3-1. I felt devastated. I cried so much. Now, 2025, I succeeded. It was like a dream for me, you know? And I think I cried again on stage. My mind is like, finally, I did it.
I look at myself 5 years ago. First starting Valorant.
Vypadá úplně stejně, čum.
What I was getting myself into. And here I am 5 years later.
Vypadá furt stejně.
A champions that I'm hungry for, I'm passionate for, and I know that we can do great things.
To je Toronto. It was really miserable.
Go on the crossroad, Alpha! Right out of the sky!
We come unprepared. It's our first time in international.
we see an RRQ that had no response.
We are a totally different team from what we showed in Toronto, and we are ready to show how good we are.
They might have some hunger. They might have a dream of revenge, a dream of redemption, but we're not going to give it to them.
Since I was young, I've been a very competitive person. I don't really like losing. Whenever I do take a setback, I feel very discontented. It strives me and pushes me to become a better version of myself.
Esse amor pelo jogo, como é algo competitivo, ele me dá uma vontade de querer estar sempre sendo melhor, estar sempre melhorando, porque se eu estiver melhorando, eu vou conseguir ganhar. E ganhar é uma coisa que eu gosto muito. Eu faço isso pelo meu país, pelo meu time, pela minha família, pela minha esposa.
Zapomněl má vlastně to.
Placements in the Americas League was not very outstanding. MIBR still has a lot of potential.
Eu já joguei contra times chineses antes e
todas
as partidas que eu joguei contra eles foi bem interessante pelo fato deles terem um estilo de jogo muito diferente.
We are a team that is probably the youngest team in Champions, and I think a lot of our players look up to Aspas as an idol in the past as well. I think that having the opportunity to play against a player of a high caliber is honestly a good experience for us, and you know, I hope we can.
High caliber.
O mundo chama de talento, eu chamo de destino. Tô bem animado pra jogar contra vocês, vai ser uma partida muito divertida.
Destiny. Chatu Destiny. Not bad. Not bad this piece. Boaster. Pětiletá cesta je crazy work. To přejmenovat stream vlastně, počkej. A vem si, že on hraje 5 let a všechno a furt nemá World Champion status. A takový Zeke hrál kámo rok a už World Champion má hotový. Oj.
They've been adamant, they've been insistent, it's not Jemkin and friends anymore. We've seen big step-ups from a lot of players. I think Monyet is crucial.
Big step-ups.
Enables Jemkin very much with that Yoru.
FNC.
It picks up that Neon when required. It's a strong double duelist look that RRQ
Boaster.
throw in, but, well, Icebox was also their team.
Dlouho se neviděl Fnatic, kámo, hrát.
You know, they're undefeated on that map at stage 2.
They've got the Haven, and I would love
to
see the Haven, because Fnatic's Haven has been really bad, but I want to see them take it one step further and throw maybe with an Abyss, cheeky Abyss pick coming into this.
I wouldn't be mad at the Abyss. Historically, not great for either team, honestly, on paper, but a lot of time for RRQ to maybe try to lock in on that. I think Ascent will be interesting as well, because I loved Fnatic's look on that map around Toronto. That's actually the map they knocked RRQ out on, and then from there it's been on the decline. So maybe they can bounce.
They
let that map through all the time, and they're not even that good on it, but they keep playing it.
The Corrode stats don't look that compelling on the ground.
Kde Ascension hned po Champions.
Playoffs on Corrode, and they got through teams like
Jsem 18. října začíná. Už v Německu, myslím. Jo.
That was brutal.
Yeah. You mentioned Jemkin, and I think a part of the story is going to Toronto. Do you think maybe the expectations were a little bit too high?
They were
because
massive.
But this time around, I don't think he's gonna.
Ano, Blaze to tak.
Surely.
No, certainly. I don't believe it. Kind of much to my
dobře broken.
team entirely. I think he just needed that experience.
Že tohle je ten zápas, kdy vyhrávali 2-0 Talon a projebali 2-3, že?
Wanted to get Jemkin.
One of the reasons
because of that iconic Reyna game where he got 0 kills, but the next game he bounced back and went crazy on the map just after. And I think that's telling of the kind of player and person that he is. And he's displayed nothing but top-tier world-class duelist play within Pacific. Now it's time to do it on the global stage after he had that first attempt.
Do you know who has been crazy on the global stage before, though? Xferio, of course, previously Deboto. I'm sure some people might remember that breeze against Optic. Anyway, he had a chat with Mika Fabs ahead of this massive against Fnatic.
Mika here, and I am with Xferio of RRQ.
Je tam Mikinka, Lukáš? Že tam Mikinka přijde za chvilku. Come on.
And I'm wondering if the team has shaken off those first global event nerves, and are you finally going to get your revenge on Fnatic?
Looking comfy, fella.
Yeah, we are taking match by match, and we believe in each other, and
A market, nevím. Se dá dohledat, by the way.
Sometimes that's all you need. The power of friendship. Good luck to you.
Na Valorant fandom.
Preparation is going to be really important.
Jo, Schmalfire.
Toronto
Fuj.
hasn't been the best though in EMEA. Had a drop in form too.
Yes, so I do remember he was the one that tore RRQ to shreds in that matchup they played in Toronto. Look, I think Alpha's an incredible flex player, a top performer. I think all of Fnatic had a bit of a quiet stage too, so I'm pretty reluctant to pin it on anybody. But
to je jakože
on Sunset plays to Taeho a little bit as well. I think Alpha Year is someone to keep an eye on. And so
kriminálne to, že první nemaker champs.
Flavors of flex. Monyet is an Omen player and then picks up the Neon acquired and also enables for the Waylay to be picked up by Jenkin. Alpha really feels like he does it all. We're comparing Neon to Killjoy stats here just to contextualize.
It's interesting. Alpha's been putting up some of his best games playing KJ. I mean, even in that last game that they lost against Giant X in the playoffs when they were knocked out, he was bombed playing KJ on Lotus. Interesting, but yeah, I mean, he was on point there at least. I'm hoping he can bounce back.
Well, it's going to be a huge rematch.
Can
RRQ get there?
Náhledák streamu jsem nezmínil.
Going to bring. There's only one way to find out.
Ukaž mi toho Boastera, vole.
To the stage.
Hold your boasties, chat, hold your boasties. Čaukovi ty bejku, jak to jde? No, come on. Nový song navařili? Kašak. A nevím, jestli dresy navařili nebo ne, ale kámo, po druhý už mají plně dres takovej jako by makovej, vole. Nekupuju dresy, Blazit. Zase nekupuju, vole. A je Miamizu. Ascent Abysskorou. Kreší sova, kreší s Fate. Jo, Lukáš. Až myšku to se taky počítá? Jako myšku využívám, dres bych nenosil, kámo. Aha, Lukáši, OK.
So I think that if they continue to flounder, even if Fnatic aren't at their best
překvapí RRQ.
they can just still beat a weaker RRQ.
Similarly, yeah, RRQ been really testing a bunch of different comps on this map. They tried the Waylay. Now looks like they're folding in Taeho and Yoru to try and see if that gets them any value, like alongside the
Myšáku, za první to nastavuje YouTube sám, za druhý děkuju a za třetí neposílej mi mrkáčka. To sám YouTube vyhodnocuje podle toho, co se děje, vole, co streamuje. To se mění, kámo, každých půl hodiny. Půl hodiny streamu CS2, půl hodiny LOLko, půl hodiny Valorant.
The X-Pharaoh versus Talon dropping 20 kills on attack, 20 for 5 on just attack. He has been amazing this last stage. I rate him so highly. I think he's playing.
On market, okay.
This really worries me because we look at the map pool, and for me again, I think it's the weakest map pool
Alpha bez Vousů
in the history of their organization. And when you look at the 3 maps they have to play, usually they get a crutch. They get their Lotus, they get their Haven, they get their Icebox, they get their Fracture. They get one map where it's traditionally they're the kings of. And in this, they are not the kings of any of this. This is just
s mrkáčkem. Nevím, kamo, znáš někoho normálně, kdo to posílá, já ne.
Well, yes, a little bit, but it honestly, for me, has less to do with their level and more to do with RRQ just not having an identity there, not being able to figure it out at all. At least Fnatic have an identity, but also, do they stray away from it? Do they give up the chamber and move on?
Jenom hrát celoživotně, kámo, to je strašně... Koky, emotek.
And now they don't have any strong maps, so this is a tricky situation.
I love what you said though off camera or off mic as we came into this. So this feels like a true rematch. Like neither of these teams have changed materially in terms of
replay system.
And I have flashbacks just watching Alpha here destroy RRQ.
Patch 11.06. Záleží, kdy je patch. Jestli je zítra patch, tak zítra. Jdeme BR vyhraje 2-0, kámo. Už tam vidím kompozici líknutou. Na Sentu, VASEK, Yoru Omencova. VASEK Yoru. Težo. O Brimstone, co to je?
I mean, the Sage was very old on this map and is now back and is very new since the recent buffs.
Ale Sage může být dobrý, kámo, ale to máš hodně zbraň v ruce, když hraješ Sagečku, kámo, a má dobrý ruce Sagečka. Když hraješ mapu, vole, jako Icebox, kde musíš permaplenty, tak actually je Sagečka dobrá, vole.
When this Fnatic comp, they're starting on attack. When they get the spike down, this comp excels at being able to stop floods coming back in, which is something that you want to, you know, try to do with your Taeho.
Čepeš, Paťo, čepeš.
Slow orb hit by thorns. RRQ are going to struggle if Fnatic are able to get that spike down, get into the sights.
They got experience, right? This is the last time they played against
Čepeš.
Fnatic, the chamber, it caught them off guard. They've never seen it before. We've never seen it before, heck. But this is the comp that Paper Rex play in their own region. You got to be pretty happy if you're RRQ.
Yeah. I mean, they do have the experience against it before, an experience in which they took an L, so maybe they can bounce back and prove that they've learned from that loss against Fnatic.
I'm looking at Jamkin as well. He will have to be able to draw out. Honestly, on both sides of the map, even with RRQ,
Je hodně simple, no. Podle mě někdo bude hrát. RRQ má dobrý statistiky, kámo, na Ascentu docela. Dobrý, kámo, teďka vyhrajou kvůli tomu.
Well, what an exciting way to start here. I can't wait to jump into Ascent, and I can't wait to throw it over to your casters, Mitch and Tom.
Well, it's the champ's debut.
Bude Chaso 2-0? Chaso. No nic. Je to tady, bo dočkali jsme se. Come on.
This is going to be an exciting matchup.
Yeah, I think also just you look at Fnatic going into this map in general, their strengths haven't really been there, and sure, a pretty hefty defeat struggling on that attack side when playing versus this comp for RRQ, but defensively on this map,
halus kompozice.
so a defense side start for RRQ.
Vítám vás na YouTube, jak na streamu, tak u videjka Fnatic zápas konečně na Champions 2025. Ascent s navařenou kompozicí, kterou jsem nikdy ještě neviděl, takže come on. Každopádně Crashy hraje Sovu a to Quadrahold a to mi stačí.
Defensive ideas from RRQ and the pistol firing squad in mid, waiting for that spot. Few shots fired.
Čau, Dževa. Pořád si myslíš, že je Sense better než Spurs? Vůbec nevím, kamo. O čem se bavíme, ale Fnatic symbolický pomalý play pokračuje, kámo. Celou EMEU Boaster koloval ty kola tak, že se dohrávaly ty kola na 15 vteřinách. Třeba, že šli plentit, kámo, na 10 vteřinách. Tohle kolo vypadá dost podobně. Crashy z dron ještě. Bude wall boost, chat. První kolo wall boost. Nestihl to. Stihl to. Jak zabil 2? Healnul sebe místo Crashise. Crashis má 5, kámo. Dal by mu na 100, on heal na sebe a pak skape. No. Tak to je disgusting, ale fér. To je disgusting, že on vyhrál a zároveň prohrál kolo. Chronicle. Díky bohu, kámo.
Will find the kills nonetheless and put Fnatic 1-0 up.
Yeah, he's definitely one of the players I want to keep an eye on, because even when they were in 4-4, you did start to see Chronicle coming back to that champion.
Ale je hezký, že mu dá jakoby 2 1v1 ty RRQ. Boaster?
He needs to be on. Like, he is that player that I feel like desires to win more than any other. And a solid start for him in the pistol round. Already seeing an idea or two, but I'll be honest, that idea at least I've been seeing since 2020.
Čau, Chris.
Obviously, we had some slower weeks from Chronicle over it.
Vandal velký armory, Phantom velký armory.
Kombo. That was something Uber was saying. You know, across the board, it's felt like regular season stage 2 has been a little bit of a drop off for Fnatic.
A tomu koupil Chronicle ten Phantom Kršísoven, ne? By neměl peníze na full util, ale... Tam udělali podle mě ekonomickou fintičku. Akorát nejsou vidět prostě kredity, nevím proč nejsou vidět kredity, kámo.
This round they certainly should be getting away with it fairly clean. 2 pistols, so a big margin for error, and only classics that they're up against.
Oh, Slorby.
Fairly hefty rotation, but they're not actually within the site trying to use the crossover, but it's something that Fnatic are well aware of.
Shorbicle.
You miss it. Chronicle already up to his 3rd kill of the round, just 3 away from finding his ultimate already. And they're also farming up a lot of the orbs onto Althea. Well,
Crazy Guy.
That res is going to be available as much as humanly possible for Crazy Guy.
Crazy Guy, dobrý nickname.
Try and do damage, or ideally die to the spike. That's not happening.
Jako běží jak Crazy Guy docela. Chtěli mu dát orbíka, ale...
They come in with 2 pistols, they leave with them as well. A flawless round from Fnatic.
Chronicle vypadá jak úplně bobík.
You look at RRQ, it's not a round that they should have had much contest in. They very nearly dropped Chronicle. I don't think it's the end of the world. This is going to be telling. We need to see them get off to a flying start. Do some damage, win the round for sure.
Velký frajírek, kámo.
Last time these 2 teams faced, it was pretty convincing in Fnatic's favor.
The other thing as well, I think more integral, is actually their last match when they played versus Paperex. They had a 1-11 attack. So this because whenever they've done even reasonably well on this map, it's been a defensive-sided half that has done it for RRQ. So that'll be the focus. And this is where they now have the weaponry to play with Chronicle. Even after a pretty stellar early start to this game, he's going to be left down to Stinger and Jemkin.
Oj, to jak hrajou ty RRQ, by the way. Jak hrajou, kámo. Full ranked.
Not bad at all. Exactly what we needed to see. Fnatic being put in their place early on with that advantage that RRQ are bringing to bear. And as you said, with the defensive side expectations we had. Rifles are left though. 3 of them with an upgrade that being brought through.
Má dobrý setup, kámo, Crashies. Oranžový mousepad, oranžová myška, oranžový tohle, Drezos.
Full utility online towards this side and 40 seconds on the clock. Time to make a decision. And it looks like they might be making the right read.
The thing is, that was their own thorns. It felt like Crashies wanted to push forward.
30 seconds left.
But his own team's thorns have blocked him out from doing so. Fnatic like to run the clock low, but I want
disgusting.
Seconds left on the clock. The spike pushing forward, but
everybody
else still with so much space to take. Boaster down.
Tohle kolo je... Co prosím? Oni savujou prostě. Jen tak savujou chat. Nevadí. Ekonomicky v pořádku.
Yeah, no, it's definitely worthwhile just hanging on to what they've got. Even that one Guardian they've now got left with the upgrade for Crazy Guy. Because she will just carry it forward. Hey, listen, that is a godsend of a round for RRQ. Great early fights, already showing dominance over that mid control and the patience on display late. That's what Fnatic were trying to force out of them as a little bit of overextension. Someone playing to
the
chance for this squad to find a weakness, find a site to push into, but it wasn't given away. The discipline on display gives us a 2-1 scoreline. The full back for Fnatic ults close to being online.
That was just a bonus, so even the couple of guns saved and a little bit extra position.
Imaginální cigárko je podle tak, no.
Already online, so they can now be a little bit riskier saying that. The shock dart that's been sent through
Rate, přesně tak.
A lot of damage. I imagine the heal has already been administered, so Chronicle will at least be back to 100. Again, ground to a halt. This defensive setup is incredibly passive. They're not trying to give any of those openers on the other side. And because of that, with somewhat a lack of initiation at times, Fnatic are just having to contact into this one.
Straight through the side.
Shockdart na trapu.
That's the problem. A lot of reactive util in play for RRQ. The salvo coming in from Crazy still has one left to play with. Reveal comes in. The spams can now fire right back through. Very oppressive in terms of the util, the positions that RRQ are playing in as well. It's making it a bit of a headache for Fnatic. And with that extra time bought, rotation through from Jemkin, mid fully secured, and Fnatic are going to go for this late.
Michale, ty myslíš, že na Vy jsou 4 hráči? To takhle nefunguje, kámo. What? Co bylo za čistku? Chat, pokud jste nový Valorantu, jo, tak ty týmy, co nejsou na International, na Champs, tak prostě rebuildí, kámo. Extrémně. A ty týmy, kámo, budou z poloviny jiný. Všechny. Hlavně ty, co nejsou na Champs. Takže BBL budou přestavený, Vitality budou přestavený, pravděpodobně i Navi budou přestavený, Koi už jsou dostavěný, kámo. Tam ještě za týmy. To nikdo neví, co bude. A off-season je dlouhá. KC, no, kdo ví, co bude s KC.
It's on the site when Crashes is able to find a double in quick succession. Those players on Boathouse trying to trade out while Boaster lurks in the smoke.
Very good discipline right there. I love to see
They had the rotates. They had Jemkin close by to support.
Very good discipline. I love to see it.
Covered their cross in, or so they thought, but
vůbec nevím, co bude.
Well, that's a very early upset for RRQ, but the reality
prostě jedeš step by step, kámo.
Operator in hand. This is the benefit from having such a clean
step by step, day by day, and
sneaky. If Jemkin steps back out, if Cushy tries to cross the market, they could be caught
off. Pushing. Co přijde, to přijde, kámo.
As a player in position. Jemkin Crash is about to run out, but just at the last second he's able to catch that kill. Boaster not being able to spot the player further.
Michale, šance jsou jakoby na všechno. O, jaká raketka.
Wonderful usage of the salvos though. That would be the pick-off of Kayak for the second time this round. His KD taking a beating. And so are Fnatic in the early stages. They need a response in there. Well, Jemkin's operator has just been a game changer. From an almost clean round for Fnatic, it's looking like we might get one in response.
Yeah, I love this from RRQ.
Teda, že se už jenom Amerikas, to jsem neviděl, ale viděl jsem, že je in talks with Loud, no. Děkuju, Michal. A nebyl to na Champs, jo. Včera trend na Lotusu.
Pushing that player that was rezzed out of position, giving Jemkin every opportunity to pick off players.
Savings.
Like you said, I think that highlight has very much been the operator. It's not just the utility in play, the weaponry too. The way they're controlling this map, very nice. And I'm curious to see what Fnatic's adaptation will be, because after that previous round victory, they've still got...
Babos, můžeš si stáhnout jakýkoliv. Můžeš si stáhnout jakýkoliv, kámo. Jakýkoliv můj záznam z Kicku a zkusit to editovat. Nijak, kámo. Neomezuji.
It's been like almost a burst of an explosive fight, but even trying to use the heal. And actually, Alfia goes down because he's trying to use the heal while running away. Like that is so unfortunate, but also just wonderfully placed utility.
Já neodesílám editoru ani soubory videí většinou.
Definitely a squad that
Kebabos, kámo, dělej s tím, co uznají za vhodný.
Day by day, game by game. Showed massive resilience in their victory to get into that top two. And well, those first few rounds definitely haven't fazed them.
Flash Nicely done. Jemkin not able to hit the shot on the jumping kayak. And it will be a 5 versus 4 with the big player of the previous round, the big weapon of the operator down. They try to delay with the salvos, but kayak's already through.
To je rozebíračka celkem, ne? Neviděl jsem teaser ještě, I na YouTube?
A 5 versus 3. RRQ, well, you talked about the slow rounds. This was a bit more direct, but we might still get that late round save.
Well, I also think it was Boaster's paranoia.
To jsou tryouty?
It must have just been perfectly placed because I think
Kámo, jak se jmenuje český chat?
Gate crash into the site for Kayak, and it looks almost silly that he's able to get that kill for free.
Když chodí na normální práce. Není to jakoby pohovor, je to jakoby zkušební období.
And this time that pace change from Fnatic, and more importantly catching out of
Jemkin has
turned this completely in the other direction.
Crazy guy, crazy exit.
This guy's going to make it a little bit more costly, but let's be real, it's not going to do too much in terms of the economy.
Yeah, I liked what Boaster was doing there. Alpha was a little bit ahead of it though. Initially you see him clearing out and looking for players in the corner, but ends up being at least a dent in that economy. There's your paranoia going through in the full blind.
Opičí paranoika.
Cypher on the side of Xfero. Not much to say about that. 4-2. But like we said,
Opičí paranoika, Showster se tapnul, chlapa. Slor line-upy tady házíme, jo. Na short.
Close to a record here so far in the tournament for the most back-to-back buy rounds for both teams. I mean, it is ridiculous.
Well, I want to see how good these teams are with the Stinger. That's been the gun of the tournament, I feel, so far, but not in this game. I think we've seen one. That was on Chronicle.
Michal, to by to musel někdo zasponzorovat.
He's now got an operator of his own. Clearly expecting that aggression to come in. Early TP just to try and clear out Switch. The run in, Kayak's already gone down. Smoke going to be thrown back out to try and delay them that a little bit further, but it feels like now
Co se děje, kámo?
has made that move eventually.
What?
The only one out this
Proč Boaster ignoroval enemáka?
Stuck by Monyet Smoke. Getting out of here is going to be difficult.
Orbik si nechce vzít. Orbik si nechce vzít.
15 seconds of the round if that happens.
Halo.
And obviously for Chronicle with the operator, all he can really hope to do is hold the cross.
There could even be a world here where they're going to group up, swap that op into Alfier's hands. It's there we go. It's the right play. Give him at least a chance to trade bullet for bullet. And they have got the B site wide open. RRQ, they've shown us a lot of patience on the defensive side.
RRQ se ani nehnou z toho Ačka.
This time it may be their downfall is that they will give the plant away. 12 seconds.
With dimensional drift online though, I'm not worried. Like you could just throw that in just to confirm this round.
Imagine mi tohle ještě prohraje ty RRQ, kámo.
Angles will just make this so much easier, and playing this as a 4 versus 2 retake, I think the gamble would be is if you left it down to a 1v1 on the site. They're not going to allow that to happen.
Dávej si hodně na čas, kámo.
This is what I'm talking about. He's going to try and get aggressive, try and be surprising. They already know where he is. That surprise factor is gone.
Nah.
They know where Chronicle is. That was the problem. It's down to the low HP player. He's healed himself slightly. He'll survive the shot, but not to the head. Cushy puts him in the ground, and RRQ convert 3.
On vystřelil, hitl a nezabil.
Wiped out, but guess what? Still got credits.
Yeah, of course they do. All of these rounds have been fairly clean. In fact, this is one of the first ones that hasn't for the side of RRQ.
Nejvíc successful hráč, ano.
This is sort of the issue I'm talking about. Like a lot of the time you're going to see double or in some cases even triple initiator on this map. It allows you to get through those choke points a little bit easier. Some teams that change it up by running a double duelist. Maybe you see the Jet alongside the Yoru so that you can get that little bit of extra space. In Fnatic's round, what they're doing is, well, this one at least, placing the wall down and trying to... But the choke is the same. You're still going through that gap.
Neultit Kushi?
And the couple of TPs not working out.
Stojí chtěl ultit, kámo.
Get out of that choke point. Even still, 4-3 up on the attack side of this map. Already said defense normally better. And what a Hunter's Fury popped. Chronicle's dead to rights. Nice start, in fact. Another tag to be had as well.
Zajímavý spot na ultění.
When they have a Sage, though.
Yeah, not so much. At least it will be the shield stripped away.
Další ultinu.
For RRQ, they've been playing so heavy on one side of the map.
Na kontakt té kamery hodí ultinu. To bude disgusting, kámo. Rip crashes. Nekresí se ever, actually. Všichni jsou ever. Všichni jsou ever, kámo. Co ti jebe? Jaký waste? Jaký waste? Jsou 3 kroky napřed ty Fnatic, kámo.
Maybe somebody was a little bit deeper. They are wary of those salvos. That's what it is. They're using the res here. They're just expecting the salvos to just remove anybody else who's left. Shock dart over the top. Same wall. Getting ready to go.
Bohužel ty salvo měl být resnout, no. Potom aspoň.
Fnatic starting to fall flat once again. It's only really Alpha.
Sage vola na lance je dobrá v tom, že kámo ty neslyšíš tu Sage volu, vole.
Seconds for players to find. And guess what? RRQ are not going to be peaking. That will be the scoreline equalized for the Pacific number 2. And well, for Fnatic it feels like feast or famine.
Keba boss, dělej co chceš, kamarečko, nehledám nové editors, ale you do.
The great thing about RRQ, like you said, is the fact that they have this composition with the tail that is now getting into Fnatic's head. You can't pop that res because the ult can come through, and even after the ult's been put in, you're worried about the salvo.
Jo, mi nepředělávej starosti, kámo, jestli můžu poprosit a bude to top.
This is a time to take a break, a little timeout for Fnatic.
Crashes furt hraje tu moji myšku, ukaž kajak. Má kajak oranžovou myšku.
Since the pistol round and the follow-up, but I think most importantly is the position that they've now put Fnatic in. With the 7th round being clean for RRQ, I think they took everybody out.
Má.
The same here.
Má oranžovou myšku a modrou podložku, to je to Saturn Pro podle mě.
Yeah, I think as well, like it's just the manner in which they're winning them. I think really struggling to deal with Jemkim, currently 9 and 5 at the top of the board. His operator has been tough to deal with, but also just a lot of those, I think getting out of smokes has been awkward. I think Xfera as well with his Cypher utility has made it tough just to break through these chokes. And if you get caught in any of the chokes, you run into Teo salvos, you run into these reactive pieces of utility. It's put, I think you could tell it's put Fnatic on edge.
4 kola za, tak jsou generational, ale already. Ještě dají víc, podle mě.
I don't think it's bad at all. I think that I'd still put Fnatic in the driver's seat for now. But if this ends as an 8-4
To jsou polepy, aby to neklouzalo teroru.
started to go, I wouldn't be overly surprised. That's a little bit more of a problem. So they want to try and stop that early.
Some experiences. Go for it.
Oh, round 9 kicking off. A lot of weaknesses for Fnatic.
Ty můžeš editovat svoje věci, kámo.
It's unlikely, and with Jemkin having so much impact so far, since this operator's been picked up, he'll be a big piece of the puzzle to figure out when it comes to the next round.
Portal closed.
Maybe finding some information here will help them out. Slow start, as expected, but leaning towards the B site, which is much more open.
I wonder if this is down to the Steel Garden. One way to level the playing field would be to use that ultimate, remove the weaponry. So if you sit out of the site, fairly easy to step back. It's
a jak se plazí ty Fnatic, to musí být tak annoying proti ním hrát, vole. Oni než se hnou někam, kámo. Plazí jak smrad.
The Steel Garden used, but instead the gate crash alongside.
Jim nechali side zadarmo. Crashy bojí ultinu. Crashy zarozultí CT normálně.
Tried to disrupt the plant, they won't find it. Chronicle lands a double Boaster on the frenzy. Hold on. This is looking very winnable for Fnatic all of a sudden.
Nechápu, co dělají ty RRQ.
Crashy's getting revenge. Catches him looking the other way from the stairs.
Když jim nechali side zadarmo.
I really thought this was going to be RRQ taking the lead, Tom.
Yeah, the one thing I was nervous about was once Fnatic actually took the site, I was like, okay, now that Steel Garden is actually really impactful. It was completely meaningless. It just
generational.
A couple of shots, and then I think he even tags up the next player, which the spam, helps out Boaster. So I spoke about the potential of championship form Chronicle. This was around the. Well, as you can see, he's going to be very,
very směje, co píše, co je, vole.
And what was it? What they thought was a setup ends up not working out. 5-4. Fnatic take the lead. Once again.
Flash z midlinku dobrý, či viděli jste to? To Vice dal flash do close midu až. Skrz stěny, vole.
For a lot of this map, it's figuring that out because of how slow Fnatic have been.
So in the previous round, obviously playing off B side, playing a little heavier towards that right side of the map, you're in a position to try to step out of
EDG nehrajou s nima ligu,
that A
kamo.
side, fight in afterwards.
EDG jsou
The
Čína,
hope
tohle je
is for
pocit.
RRQ, even if that ult is used. Actually, you probably want the ult to be used. Now it's online for this round. Rez is there. Hunter's Fury. Fnatic have so much to work.
Ale to se dělají Fnatic, oni dokážou s každý tým jakoby udělat, že ten tým vypadá jak bot lazy.
This is a problem. Cushy. He's going to have a swarm of locusts descending upon him. But his weapon is back up. The flash catches, but Cushy good for one, good for two. Against all odds on the backside. He was caught by the steel garden.
Ten Chronicle co dává, kámo.
Again delivers a double.
To jsou generational facky prostě. To je hotovo prostě. To je hotovo pro dnešek, jakoby Chronicle, kámo.
Look like they could have gone the other way, but Chronicle still stands tall. The rounds that they've been winning the last couple have mostly come off the back of him. The Sentinel now overtakes Jemkin. He's 11-3 right now, and really overshadows the job that was done by Cushy. The fact is, he was left as sort of the anchor so that they couldn't do that again.
To jsou prostě insta-tapy, chápeš? First bullet hlavy, first bullet, first...
Similarly to what Fnatic was
Crazy work.
Also seemed like a death sentence.
It's just got to be great.
Na to si na MADMONQ z do pusinky tady, vole. I ty používáš ten mouse grip? To je jasný, prdele.
That op from Jemkin on the other side has slowed down. A timeout from RRQ.
To je můj mastodont, kámo, nádherný mastodont, kámo. Dneska ho půjdeme venčit zas. Včera poslední hra 19-4. Come on.
As they come into the next, the force by looking very unlikely. See their economy when we get back in the game, but it should be in the bin. With a 2-round lead already.
Předněte tu kameru, kurva.
The advantage at the halftime locked in, and despite how close this was, Fnatic winning the pistol and having momentum towards the end, they could undo all the rights of that early half and end up at double the scoreline of their opposition.
Pobavili ti zase, ale.
6 rounds is already a very good position for Fnatic to be in. Everything points to RRQ having their struggles on the attack side of this map, and well, at 4-4 after losing the pistol, we're talking about potentially turning into a great half now.
Je to dobrý. Já nevím, co, jak odolná je tvoje peněženka.
Stranger things have happened. It's a good flash to start. The drone's got all the info. They know about the danger up close.
Ano, třeba to je přímě cloudcen, kdy měl.
But Cushy's trying to take advantage of the gap. He's being spotted though. Boaster about to set up a smoke. Oh, he looked a little asleep at the start. Not expecting Monyet around that corner, but Chronicle, reliable, takes the pick. Jemkin super low as well, and yeah, the wall is tripped on B, but Fnatic have already put their eggs in this basket. The A site being taken. Next Pharaoh, tag low. Jump around will catch him off. There is damage done on the other side though. Kayak is relatively low. They've managed to draw blood onto Boaster. RQ can make this costly, but I don't know how much impact that's realistic. They needed the round win.
Ale používám můj skin. Ten novej žlutý je dobrý, kámo. Ten skin je dobrý jak svině.
Doesn't mean anything. So many credits for Fnatic to buy back in with, and a 7-round attack side.
Vykřičný kick, to má vykřičný kick.
That was something they'd be happy with their old composition, with the chamber in the mix. I think now that they've
added
in the sage, this is looking incredibly dangerous for RRQ, of course. Looking forward in the series, I do think that the map pool should get better for them. They're comfortable on Corrode. They've kicked into Abyss, which, I'll be honest, historically wasn't good for either of these sides, but hey, that's their choice. Ascent, over the last few months, they've been 1-6, so I think expectations were relatively low, but this is starting to look very rough indeed.
Oh, Jemkin, there we go. The return of the op, and of course it's Chronicle that he finds.
Come on, Frost.
Early on. Player who has bailed Fnatic out of a lot of bad situations.
7 gól za, tak to už je hotový, kámo, by the way. Jen co by se mu stalo, aby to nedoklepali za defend.
RRQ out of Toronto, the grudge match. Jemkin's going back out for more, same spot as before. Of course, he's got teammates covering deep into mid, so he doesn't have to worry about his left side. He's covering this cross, and eventually that fight is going to be forced out. Crashies, but it's more importantly Alfier with the spike. He's got
what? Come on, what?
Walls up, pops the res.
Alfier je zpět a pak vystřel.
And a 2 versus 2 spawns from this with the ult from Boaster. The spike will be reclaimed, but look at Monyet.
Giving his position away. Clearly aware of the potential paranoia to re-swing, but he's not won the fight. And now Xpero left on just 20 HP. This will be a tough
Xpero, kámo, versus Boaster a Kajak.
If he can find a gap, find some space, maybe there's an opportunity down to just 10.
Ne. To šlo prohrát?
That is absurd.
To mě nešlo prohrát, ne? What the fuck is this?
From Xpero. Isolating each fight, taking them down and putting 5 on the board for RRQ. A damn sight better than it could have been as we go into the halftime. They are trailing by 2. I love the slowdown. The slow-mo on the voice lines, but that looked like it was done.
One enemy
a big
remaining.
swing from Alpha. He was on fire, but Xpero extinguished hope for Fnatic in this round.
At least a little bit of semblance of hope after what was a round that was definitely looking like it would turn into an 8-4 half. Nonetheless, it was still a good half for Fnatic, so let's go down with Lou, who's talking to Boaster's parents.
Boaster's parents? What? To jsem asi neviděl. Je Boasterova mamka a táta? What the fuck? Jak se ti vypadá jak Boaster, vypadá jak Boaster, ty kokot.
We know that your son has been, handling the IGL captain responsibilities for a long while now.
Vypadá jak Boaster.
Always had that extroverted, fiber in him.
Well, it's difficult to say, really.
I tak mluví, vole.
He just took over.
Kámo, to je Boaster senior.
Away, playing games in London.
It's like, hey, man.
So yeah, I think that's where he wanted to go.
Yeah, he was enjoying himself since the very beginning indeed. Donc on le sait, Boaster c'est l'IGL, le capitaine, il a des responsabilités depuis le début. Il a toujours été comme ça, un peu extraverti. Bah oui, depuis le début, il était à fond dans les jeux, il partait à Londres pour jouer, etc., pour profiter. Donc je suis sûre qu'il avait ça en lui depuis le début. And my question now, Suzanne, is for you because your son is not only a captain, he's also a content demon, especially a dancer.
Content demon.
So what do we think about his dancing skills? Where did he get them from, actually? Is it from you?
He's always loved dancing. He did belong to a local musical theatre school, and his favourite was the dancing. Anything, and of course now the K-pop. He loved everything. Any dance.
Any dance he can do. K-pop, ballet, that's insane. Donc on parle aussi des skills de danse de Boaster, évidemment. Ils sont...
Ten typ vypadá extrémně jak Boaster, kámo.
D'où est-ce qu'il tire ça? Et ben il est à l'école, d'une école de théâtre. Il adorait la danse, donc forcément il est à l'aise pour la K-pop, le ballet. Il sait tout faire. And let's see now if Natty can take the win on this map.
A to jsou originál prostě UK, vole.
Shown clips of Boaster twerking to his parents. I'm sure they must look up on the big screen.
Mě zdravil teďka, Bobík.
Yep, that's what he's done for the community.
Getting into your Coinbase econ report now before the next half, and Chronicle has to be the highlight. He started out 5-0, ended the half 13-4.
Jo, to mě baví, ale...
That was hard to shut down, Tom.
Poprvé vidím, vole, Boasterova rodiče tam.
Like it made it just so difficult. The finances of Fnatic became so good all the way.
A ten jejich přízvuk, kamo, je hard, no. Prostě jak Boaster, kamo, full UK prostě.
Of course, going into the defensive side, you kind of expect more of the same. Maybe with a little bit more from Kayak. He's been a bit quiet so far, but obviously we say a lot with this attack side. It's very difficult getting into those sites. And that's where I wonder if Jemkin's going to be able to have the same level of impact. Like, can he now be as good on the entry as he was on the defense? It is much harder.
Udělej taky, kámo. Oni udělali to samý. Yes, own medicine.
Stack up on mid 3 instead of RRQ's 4. But they have found 2 picks and left X-Pharaoh down to 5. A much more successful start. And one of the things I wanted to highlight, Tom, is the man we're on board with right now, Monyet. He has had a tough first half, and a man we have high expectations for. I don't think Fnatic will get to see this side of Monyet for much longer, but for now, certainly a lot more to be desired. And with this pistol, if Fnatic win this, that's both pistols under their belt, which ultimately, in a 7-5 half, the pistol was what made the difference.
Yeah. I think it'd be a bit.
Whoa!
Okay, that's going to help them out a little bit. A full
Tak to je disgusting.
One of their players.
Bude hlavně někdo po tomhle? Jo. Následujem Steska a Patrik Hušak. Dobrý, kámo. Skákající klasik.
Could make all the difference in their map choice.
Oh, RRQ getting a little taste of the UAE chant that we know from the EMEA arena.
Jsem dělal Boaster na jiném anglu než ostatní.
Idea as well to do exactly what your opponents put into play, and we've seen this from Fnatic before.
I'm a gardener. I got flowers and shit.
And shit. To má za pusekle, vole, zas. Nemá zase ty melounový? Jak tam točí tou nohou nad hlavou?
8-5. Strong lead, and they're up against Classics. For RRQ, farming those orbs early in the name of the game. You can see the crazy guys containing that A orb. While his teammates take it on B, but IX pushed up on mid. Gate crash fading. I don't think he'll stick around too much longer, and indeed, he's already out.
A little bit of a ruse sold on the other side with the salvos. Of course, you can see the direction that they fly from, so doing it from the right side of the map is important. Already being tripped, and that's going to buy that additional little bit of extra time, but they are swarming in. A lot of pressure. Put on
What?
Was that a triple wallbang?
What?
Was Collat 2 of them with one, or was that the second shot? Because it looked like it could have been all of them.
It looked like it was 1 bullet, 3 kills.
So?
We'll get a slow-mo.
Yeah, I'm going to need that slowed as much as possible, but that does mean there's an opportunity for the ace, and Crazy Guy does not...
17-4 by the way, Chronicle.
Confident enough as it is.
To má nejlepší formu, kámo, ever.
Well, Crazy Guy. He's trying to go.
Kubiku, ty tak nehráš by the way, rankedy?
He is baiting. What a wonderful teammate that this guy is. In fact, they're all trying to give the opportunity for this man to get the ace, and
W team.
the first
W team.
Fnatic in the tournament. And one that, yeah, I'm going to need it slow.
What?
I still don't know.
Hold on. Here we go.
Jeden náboj prostě, jeden náboj.
1 shot, 3 kills. That's unbelievable from Chronicle. And that's what you like to see from a team. Patitech should take some notes.
I do feel incredibly bad for them.
Mám mu zatleskal, vole.
One player, 3 of you all line up at once. That's about as cursed as it gets, but obviously it was only an eco. This is when we need to see.
To je rekord asi, jo?
Kayak, he wasn't spotted in the last round, so he's going to go for the same play. Likely that he may not find anything again. X-Pharaoh. Just jiggling.
He's going to go out. The gate crash is going to be used. Surely it's running out of time. There we go. He's back out, but Crash is out of the round. He's taken down in market, and RRQ used that knowing that rotations will come through. Now they look to pressure towards mid. This is the right read. Fnatic are offering up a fight, and if the numbers from the attack go that way, they could have had a duel. Very heavily favored to themselves.
Co dělal na volné tam?
Walled up here. They've an audacious play.
To je kokot.
On top of the box. And X-Pharaoh in with the early punish. A 3 versus 5 now.
Yeah, I don't mind the idea, but the additional jump made it difficult. Chronicle on the other side, they're gonna have...
Kayak klip, kamaráde, incoming, jak svině, vole, to cítím.
Alpha yet. He's been
Teď sleduj, kámo, 1v5 jak bomby jak svině. Ty píčo.
A solid round from the side of RRQ, patient in their attack. But as we know, with how clean the last couple have been, there's another buy coming.
Well, it's already a margin better than the last time these two teams faced. It was Fnatic taking it 13-5, with RRQ hitting 6, but they're facing into a full buy now. Like you said, this is a
Puši dává dobrý.
perhaps from Fnatic.
Puši dává dobrý, kámo.
On Chronicle. I
Celou
mean,
hru.
he had a lights out start to the map, but there has just been next to no stopping him. And in round 16, it'll be a slow, methodical start from RRQ. Pressure towards the A site, but the spike still sat outside B. The salvos sent through to clear wine. It's all about just pushing Fnatic back, limiting how much info, how much control they have to play with.
Co je to shock dart, kámo? Ty píčo. Dobrá chyčka.
Already having to bait out some of that early utility. Wall being used over into A main. This could be a big part of the game for RRQ with how much is
Agresivní kažak.
Again going walkabouts.
Žolbeň.
The reveal will let him know that there's a couple of players to his right, but that's not who he's looking for. He's expecting some form of reaction. The thing is though, we haven't really seen RRQ caught by any of this. Each time they've been patient. But now with 40 seconds.
To hodně agresivní ty Fnatic na defendu.
Bear in mind that the Vice
Budu contestí space, kámo.
so they have a lot of information.
Nedávají nic zadarmo.
The push though, not going that way.
The drone already put through on A, alarm bells ringing. Fnatic know the hits coming in with that paranoia.
Jak to dojebal.
A quieter performance continues. We look for another hero on this site. Alfier grabs some swings into heavy traffic. Boaster isolated. He'll be taken down after one. Chronicle and Crashy.
Shock dart.
Shock dart makes it doable.
To byl shock dart ze čtvrtu, kámo.
The save call.
To byl shock dart, to jsme trénovali chat. Replay okamžitě. A i reveal ze shortu dobrý, házel ten enemy sova. To je dobrý sova kolo, kámo.
They'll play this together with a flash still in play for Chronicle. That's a good way to burst them out into this site. If Xpharaoh doesn't break this, Monyet be blinded up. It's going down below. Oh, it's going up top. Okay, they're clearing it. Now looking to fight together with the reveal. They've seen one, they've seen the other, but Xpharaoh lands the shot. And it's all onto Crashies. The drop down should be deadly. A double swing, but Xpharaoh gets ahead of the play. Crashies running out of time, but he'll
stíhám. To vyhráli. Jen bož to píkal ten Cypher.
Fnatic, it's close, but I think they've got it. Double digits on the board, and you have to look at RRQ there. Xpharaoh, that was a mistake.
Yeah, he was so good for the first fight. That gets the timing perfect on the swing, but I think maybe just a little bit of miscommunication. This shock dart was huge, because you said this was going into a
To je zbytý, ale to je starý shock dart.
It ends up with one
Ale už je můj zase.
and then the aggressive position of Crazy Guy. That is just a poor post plant. Like, I can forgive the guy planting the spike. You don't know that's coming. But from then onwards, you have one guy then you get into the 2v1, and from that point onwards, you just need to wait for the drop.
That's a shame, and RRQ as well, with the margin of error that they had in terms of economy. This has pushed them to the limit. This could give Fnatic
a little
bit of momentum to carry it across the line, to at least push up to 12. A win here. I mean, put it this way, RRQ put a lot more pressure on themselves for this round. What could have been their redemption arc. At 9-7, the scoreline closing in, the walls closing on Fnatic. It's looking like a sprint to the finish line for the defense.
One good thing is that RRQ have a lot of potential to pad the gap with ults.
Jo, fakt byl, já bych se taky nikdy nehnul, kámo.
Fury one away.
Já ani na rankeru nemluvím, když defuzuju, tak neklikám ani puštu tolk. Aby mi náhodou nesjel prst z toho. Když ten Wooting, kámo, ty hneš o milimetr nahoru, kámo, tak se pustí ten
as they now look to try and move back to the other side of the map, but this definitely has its risks about it. Fnatic haven't moved. They'll catch
Ty pičo!
that's wonderful.
Já říkal, ten typ dává dobrý jak svině.
Two players down, Kayak trying to rotate into position. He's hoping someone peeks off it, but they don't.
To bylo jakoby
Control being taken.
Chirurgický.
Fnatic can't afford to fight this. Their economy was already on the brink after that last round. They're just going to have to hold on to their guns.
Well, especially, I'm looking at that A-side take that RRQ were posturing for at the very start of the round, and I'm thinking, well, this is actually disastrous. If they run the same play, not only will individuals be a little bit more ready for that.
Ale to není konzistentní cesta, jak vyhrávat kola, no.
Even if it goes a little bit better for RRQ, the retake with Chronicle and Crashies both now having ults.
Wooting mám na Kicku možná. Možná na Kicku mám Wooting, kámo napsaný.
It would have to be convincing in that A push, and instead they decide to go back to the B site. They decide to push into the players who have those ultimates, into the heavier defense setup. Especially looking at Chronicle just as an individual, and then with his utility. But the fact that Cushy finds not one but both of them, complete game changer. That's a course correction on what was a disastrous previous round. 10-7. 3 players.
Já tady mám odkaz na Kick. Je v popisku streamu ten odkaz na Kick, ale v chatu ho radši nedávám, protože nevím, jak to funguje s cross promotionem. Umístil se s Y, to je dobrý se umístit, kámo. Klasický místo, kámo. Podle jakoby vzoru, kámo, mídlo. Mídlo místo, kámo. Moje oblíbený. No, čtěte si po sebe ty zprávy, že se napíšete, kámo, to je fakt humus, ty vole. Tak kdybys mi nasral, kámo, prostě tady.
Chronicle's having a game like he is, you better be giving him the rifle. Not sure about peeking short with the frenzy, but it's all for info. The fall back. Very early use of the drone as well from Crazy Guy. They're looking to really claim this space towards middle, but Fnatic are
responding. Mám 60 mám
Blaze. Push down through B main.
Actually, pokud na tom kompu plánuješ dělat něco jiného než hrát, tak nedoporučuju. Je to nepraktický jak píčo, kámo. Na hraní a na cestování je to nice. A to jakože je to clean, prostě feel to clean, když na tom hraješ. Ale pokud plánuješ cokoliv dalšího dělat na tom kompu, tak celkově do 80.
Slowly breaking their way through this utility. Information will be had that there's 2 players around this position. Steel Garden thrown in to try and remove that weaponry, but Jemkin may be already doing enough. 30 seconds left on the clock, and
30 seconds.
Oh, there's nobody there.
Blaze, no.
With the weaponry and this hold into mid. It could
Já něco dělám ve Photoshopu, kámo, tak se to přepínám. Profily na tom bootingu a mám prostě, kámo, CTRL mám šipku doprava, Alt šipku doleva, menu šipku dolů a otazník šipku nahoru, kámo, abych se mohl posunout věci, vole, jako jsem se s tím naučil pracovat, ale jak měl šipky, jak to je 100krát příjemnější, že jo.
Attackers who've just lost their weapons. But instead, it ends up countering that steel guard. Hunter's Fury thrown through as well. I don't think it found its mark, but again, it's all about just pushing those players out of position. Lack of comfort. 2 rounds ahead now are Fnatic as they call a timeout. RRQ starting to heat up, starting to catch up.
Ale jako jet někam na lanku, nebo se stěhovat celkově, nebo mít kam velkou podložku, víš, jakoby čistě na to hraní je to po piči, ta 60ková podložka, kláveska. Jeden týpek z těch XLG hraje normálně 20%, je to kláveska? Co takovýho, kámo, že má prostě nové SD. To je crazy, kámo.
The thorns online, if the shear is still there, if the sage wall is available, and each time you're watching them.
Johne, děkuji.
Okay, we're going to figure out where the puzzle is, and then we're going to execute with 35-40 seconds left. Like, they still leave themselves enough time, but by that point, all of the things that make it very awkward for them are gone, because Fnatic have had to react in case they're going to go diving into the site. And you even see, I think the main one there was the getting rid of the thorns on shore and then having that shear removed. The second that was gone, their execution just picked up pace massively.
Shock Dartek insta.
Well, the barriers are going up once again. Timeout finished. And we've seen this
tak to nekradou,
in the
kámo,
previous
asi.
round, and actually Crazy Guy was holding, letting them take the space and looking to punish
Ale
them.
to bounce ještě jednou, jak to zničí, podle mě, ale. Ukradnou to a dám k tomu ještě jeden bounce a podle mě to doničí i tu druhou.
Fnatic for now have no way to know that info is online late round. It's given RRQ a lot more to play with. The wall going to be used, but broken so quickly. They know there's numbers here, but RRQ have been doing a lot of posturing.
Jo. Je to jasný, Urzan. Tak to máš artisanku, akorát není tak tvrdá.
No,
je neexistující.
Baiting out their opponent's utility and not overcommitting either. Sometimes you see that work out well half of the time, and the other half you're losing a player or two in overcommitments. That doesn't seem to be the case for RRQ. No. Very contained when they're baiting out that util early round.
No, I think they've genuinely been fantastic. Not overdoing it, not taking too many risks. They're now going to go back to the exact position that they sort of baited out before, the slows. Will delay them at least a little bit. And there are quite a few players here for Fnatic. Weaponry, at least on Boaster, definitely not ideal, but again, this is
posturing.
They now head back towards Kayak. He's been having a rough game. They could definitely use him helping them out, and with the Hunter's Fury in combination, that creates a distraction. That's the spike on the deck. 15 seconds left. This one's looking a little bit more rushed. They need to get a move on.
Ne, ten Crashies, ale jsou dva na sajtu, kámo. Matematicky tohle nesmí prohrát, kámo. Matematicky tohle jakoby... Ty píčo. Kolik je dal ten Chronicle zase, by the way. No ještě jednou navíc, kámo, zas. On je nejlepší, on legit nejlepší. Nedělám si píču, ale jakoby... Leo prostě... Jako ty Fnatic, když měli ještě Lea, to bylo prostě jakoby... Leo ještě lepší jak Chronicle, kámo. Dělám si kokota. Nebo na stejnou, vole. Jo, Crashies je skvělej, ale prostě Leo level nehituje, no. Doporučuji si pustit starý vodka Fnatic, starý vodka Fnatic roku 2023. Co tam jakoby prováděl ten chlap, to... Nevím,
Kayak needs to get out of there, and he does quite quickly. Yeah, it was a little too telegraphed from RRQ. 11-8. Margin for error thinning, and already the economy on the rocks, but Crazy Guy comes in with a big ult online. Especially on the attack side.
There's a lot of angles that can be cleared by this, a lot of cheeky spots that can be denied. But this is both teams with their economy on the brink. This could be a chance for RRQ to equalize, or it could be the end of the map.
Jo, to byl jeho poslední zápas na ty, nematrou, myslím. Jak je výser.
And the openers for RRQ are fantastic. Nobody really here to try and deny them anymore. His spams from Crashies are hopeful at best, especially with them knowing his exact position. And it now comes down to the same decision for Fnatic. Do you risk this?
Hrál Urza, ale podle mě by kamo se adaptoval úplně next level oproti ostatním, protože on hrál Fantoma. Měl nejlepší shock darty doteď, nejlepší utilizaci shock dartů a všeho ze všech. Nejvíc skillů na eventu. A spamoval furt všechno. Si myslím actually, že by si užíval víc než ostatní tu metu. Jako neužíval by si ji, protože to nejde, ale myslím si, že by mu to neuškodilo. Zrovna ten jeho playstyle jakoby... Že on dělal taky ten chip damage playstyle, víš, on jakoby ohlodával lidi. No tež meta nevím, jaká by byla. Ale aktuální meta ty neonky. Leovi nevadilo hrát ty breache, že jo, ale Leo podle mě by zvládl i toho teža, no.
This is a player we expect to have large amounts of impact.
Oj, facička.
It removes that lurking player of Xpero. Maybe gives them a little bit of extra space. The problem though is Crashies has already gone down in response, and the salvo will deny any aggression.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about pistols for most players.
Uvidíme, co dál Riens bude předvádět na eventu. Ariens je takovej, taková náhrada za Lea z části. A tam neprohráli do low buy ty RRQ.
This is now winnable for the defensive side, and RRQ need to tighten up the ship. They also need a pick, and that's what Jemkin gives them. Cushy following up as well. Now at 2v2, but the res will be used. Fnatic...
Co udělal ten crazy guy? On dal raketu na ten box. Jakože je strašně chytrý, že prediktí sejčku, co se bude volobustit. A přitom vejstil tu raketu na ten res. Není čas. Kámo, ten kuš je nejlepší, by the way. Ten kuš je emově z nich nejlepší. What the fuck?
So impressive throughout this map so far. There's been rounds that have gone late where you see him run in and get a double, but this was all him. Sure, maybe there were 6 kills to be had.
Podle mě si dal trochu kuši před zápasem.
I don't think anybody on the RRQ side of things is going to be too worried about that one.
No.
Solid hold to end it out, moving him up to 19 on the board, overtaking Jemkin. But this is where Fnatic now have themselves.
Ukážte ten line-up.
The last round was a lot of missing pieces, but a big opportunity. Now is where they need to recover because RRQ have been building into this attack side.
Oh, here we go.
Byl showdart na Vice píčovinky. Byl showdart na Vice píčovinku.
Able to trade things back, removing this extra smokes in the late round. That's going to be quite the blow.
Ciao Dominic, 6-7, 6-7.
They want to get ahead of this. They've got 3 players in heaven, but a flash primed and ready. They're thinking about getting aggressive as the Rose Garden goes through. In comes Kayak, he's found one! A wall bang on the crazy guy, but Jemkin, he's keeping this, well, at least under control.
Kámo, není to actually min-max toho revealu?
All that it comes down to, but he's got to swing into a plant position that he just cannot deny the defuse from. 12 to 10.
Nice.
Fnatic.
Idea, kámo, idea. Ten reveal je naučený místo, přesný angle, který tě, vole, tírne close, i under, a naprešuruje tě do tohohle anglu, kde dodžuješ ten reveal, jakoby. Tam insta koukali, kámo, jak by věděli, že ten reveal má gapu, tuhletu. Že ten NMAX si myslí, jak je chytrej, kámo, že dodžuje reveal tady v tuhle tam růžku. Meanwhile, ten typek dostane prostě pre-fire.
2 rounds left for RRQ to hit an OT. Manageable with the economy that they've got to play.
Ukradl jsem to, zkusím to na custom.
It feels like they deserve it. Like considering they've lost both pistols in this game, it's been a fight back every single time. Hayek is going to get himself into the corner.
Okay,
is this something that's checked?
Jsem dělají za zvuky, haňaně, vole, to je kurva. Jako jak nenapojil ještě, no, bohužel. A už hnedko. Dobrá raketa. Nevím, jestli tu raketu nemohl sticknout, kámo.
They haven't set their sights on it just yet. The run through the smoke successful for Xfero.
Omenport má 100 životů, ne? Ten duch. Víte, že ten duch, kámo, má nějaký amount životů.
No debate. Jemkin's down and it's Xfero and Monyet against Boaster and Alpha.
Got a real opportunity.
A kdyby doportil, tak jakoby ho to nezabiješ, jo.
Maybe expectations that there'll be somebody within this smoke already. Alpha are not really willing to risk it, but eventually jumps through, but doesn't realize maybe there's somebody on the other side.
Yo!
And even gonna trade it out. The TP used as bait. Monyet to try and keep them.
Yo!
He cannot do it.
Turecký ručičky, volem.
Standing once again. A 3rd kill in the round, and well, eventually Fnatic, they got the job done.
It's a nail biter of a map, but Fnatic take it 13 to 10. Revenge denied for RRQ. But up next, the shakeup in the
Díky bohu, že nevystřel ten Alpha Air, kámo.
It's all to play for after the break.
because these aren't my shots, they're Milan's. Mine are in the wash.
Huh?
The cameraman was so shocked. I went down, I did that, and I was like, where am I shots? I had to pull it up ASAP Rocky.
ASAP Rocky, kámo. Favorit na výhru Champions?
Now that I'm a mom,
tahle typka.
things are different.
Ta vyhrála za mě.
Horizon's different too. They let everyone in my family choose different plans. We get what we want and we save money. Love that for me.
Verizon.
Red Bull gives you wings.
Jenom z žádný rating si neviděl větší asi. Kámo, uklidni se.
So looking for revenge.
There's the shorty. Goes crazy. They've all battled through the pressure and expectation. Heretics have come back all the way. Finally we won. Finally.
Ten vůd tam. Finally we won. Finally. Ty pičo, počkej, tady se vaří nějaký song. Tuhutan Trebir v original mix. Já jsem koukal SV Grandko, co je SV? Patagot tam je. Stěpicí, vole. Hezky jede bomby. Dobrá kapuerka, kámo. EVC? Chápu. Kde je Minpurs, by the way? Tady byly poslední mapa turnaje, ty kokos, a Minpurs nikde. Pinka. Aha, je tu. Hrál customky už, měl business calls. Teď tu taky pracuju, nebudeš mrdinko? Pohodě, kámo. Já jsem se objednal na bělní zubu za 2 měsíce třeba dneska. Umít zuby jak perličky. A byl jsem pochválen u zubařky. Že to mám super. Zuby jak datel, zuby jak Marlon. Mike Queens, vole, Mike Queens tady. Není tam Anita, ale tak co je? Zuby jak Honzi Michalek, zuby jak Noty nebo ven? Zuby jak plaňky. Queens a King, tam není žádný King, ne? G2 jsou Queens prostě. Zuby jak Pexeso.
This interview was gonna come. Mika here with Milan, hello from up there, all the way up there. This actually won't work. I need a wall boost.
Kámo, kolik měří on a kolik měří on, by the way?
Some assistance. Thank you so much.
Přeček.
Hello, Milan. Anyway,
Přeček
I wanted to
emote.
ask you about that stage pick, especially since we know the team has been experimenting a lot with who gets to play the stage round this entire year. So, what was the thinking behind it, especially for this map?
I think it was mostly comfortability. Like, we didn't have a whole lot of time to turn things around. Kron's played so much Vice, so just shoving Alpha on like this battle stage style worked. He can wall boost himself, he can shoot, he can slow fight. We've seen it all, so yeah, it's just a comfortability thing more than anything.
Well, I could use a wall boost of my own, but thank you very much and good luck in the next map.
I mean, the reason that Alpha is able to do that, Uber and Wyatt, is because Kron can just do whatever he wants and win them the map.
Honestly, like Kron is doing all that stuff like late in the round, but the sheer number of multi-kills for Kron, it's like 4 2Ks, 3 3Ks, 4K and 5K. So a lot of these rounds, Fnatic are walking into short-handed.
Já mám tak 200. Kámo, ten Mr. G v tom Německu, to doteďka, já jsem z toho v píči, kámo. Ten byl tak obrovský, ty vole. Performance coach prostě, vole, gentlemates a předtím Ascendu, kámo. Mr. G, ten má plně tak 205 třeba. Jsem si koukal takhle na něj, kámo. A měl ruku, vole, jaká hlavu, kámo, to byla ty píčo, kámo, to byla taková bazoura, vole.
Even better than that, but generally one of the most terrifying moments I've seen, and a lot of the work Kron did was with like these.
Já to mám 1,90 m, kámo. Jsem úplně píči z toho, fakt jsem z toho píči doteď, kámo.
I mean, like, Boaster's getting random frenzy kills through smoke. These guys are doing the most with the least.
Alpha had a couple crazy opening kills as well. There was that little jiggle swing with the Guardian on Cat. He one-tapped someone straight away. But yeah, just having him
Chronicle byl lucky. Ano, tohle byl pure luck. Byl pure luck, on je jinak botless.
Yeah, we were like, oh, how does this play into the attack side strategy? Like, let me see this, like...
Libore, posílej mi to hned, jak jsem to objednal, kámo.
Monyet just gets to do his thing, which is great, but Fnatic never let...
Jo, teď nezvyk jak svině obliž Mangel, to je strašně, kámo. Strašně humbling experience, kámo. Na streamu vypadáš menší než jsi? Protože víš proč? Já jsem nad tím přemýšlel, já mám strašně velký pokoj, kámo. Ten pokoj je strašně vysoký strop mám, vole. Je fakt hodně vysoký strop mám. A nebo nevím, vole, proč to ti tak připadá. Ale nejsi první, co mi to říká, vole. Čím když se postavím, kámo, já mám nízko židli, vole? Nevím, kámo.
I think we knew we were still fine.
Když se postavím, tak to tady.
Everyone's still calm. It's not a bad first map for us. Usually our first maps don't go so well recently. So hopefully we can haunt Fnatic in this one as well.
Asi to jsou ty úhly, kámo, nějaký, no.
This is where, you know, we could be worried for almost for both teams, but RRQ picked this, it had to be for a reason.
I am honestly, this might be an insane takeaway, but I'm feeling better about RRQ's chances of winning after watching them lose on map 1. Because this was easily their worst map in the pool of maps that they play.
Ty, Pablo, ty jsi taky vysoký, ne, vole?
They kept it that close, with Chronicle going crazy, dropping a bomb on them that game. Now we're going to an Abyss map, which is a bit of an unknown. They only played it one time, right at the beginning of the year, lost to DFM. Fnatic played it quite a bit at the end of last year. It's just never been a great map for them on either iteration of this game. So they'll have
Pavle, kdyby se neherbil a měl postavu paralel, tak má 2 metry.
And for me, RRQ are just a pure question mark.
Fíluje to tak z těch fotek, no.
You know, Jemkin was doing pretty well over the course of that game. Good mid control on defense. There were some cheeky little set plays that Fnatic tried to do, like so Boaster.
Vašek, ty jsi na PNK, keď nejsi na stage? To je PNK.
Kayak, conversely, was being shut down a lot, especially by Jemkin in the head-to-head, 7-2 favoring Jemkin.
Co to máš za polštáře kružovej? Polštáře kružovej.
Going to another map where opping is crucial. The sightlines on this map are stupid long, obviously. The map
jako tohle? To je neumka.
Farm if he gets that up on defense. Even on attack as well.
I do wonder what Fnatic are going to do because this is a rare
map. Deka, jestli myslím si dávám před sebe.
We're gonna get a waylay, and I mean, it's not gonna be a waylay Yoru because it's Kayak that plays the Yoru normally.
And this is what Fnatic, they, you know, obviously waylay wasn't in the game yet, but back when they were playing Abyss before, they loved running Breach on it still, the double initiator. They love playing the Astra on it. The Astra in general, and they're going up against the most default of default comps you could possibly see.
I mean, this is where it helps RRQ a little bit, right? We talk about comfortability. This is the peak comfortability.
I gotta be honest, I'm surprised Fnatic are sticking to a Breach on this map.
They haven't locked it in yet. They haven't locked it in yet.
Yeah, they haven't locked it. Maybe I'm being baited. I'll wait another 10 seconds or so. But, oh, am I being baited?
Chodí na fyzio, a máš problémy? Bylo ti řečeno, že máš problémy? Kámo, nehrajou Fnatic bez sovy, abys že ne. Bude hrát sovou, kteří na 100, kámo. Nehrát sovu na Abyssu je troll jak svině. No. A Breach je pro tu Waylejku, no chat, Breach je pro Waylej. To může být actually zajímavý komp, tohle. Jedný jsem mi řekla, že mám lepší, tak jsem to tam vyslal a jinak jsem zdravej. Co jako, že se nemáš tolik hrbit, jo? Čauko Roxan, čau Trex.
He is going to be critical in turning his game around for Fnatic to win on a map where historically they don't win very often.
Almost never.
Yeah.
I am surprised though Alpha doesn't get to play that Jet. You would think with the form that
Alpha Cypher? Ten tebe úplně píči mít, že hraje Cypher, kámo. Hra stejně jak Reinu. Ten se jak hrbí. Crashes mi dělá věci. Napsala Roxanne, by the way.
By the waylay, I'll tell you that. I think in terms of what RRQ are bringing, we've already seen how this can be punished, I suppose, here on the map of Abyss. I'm curious to see.
Když byl chiropraktika se nechá prošlupat, bych v životě nešel, kámo, asi. Já se bojím, že by mi tam normálně vyplo.
The only thing I'm sad about is the bit I liked about the previous waylay we saw.
Vždycky vidím ty videa, jak chytne ho, kámo, tím ručníkem tady pod krkem, zaváže to a že mrt! A že týpek vždycky, tam kámo stundnutej, kámo. Druhá mapa, Fnatic versus RRQ, pick od RRQ Abyss. Kompozičně oba dva týmy navařili. Je na Tajsko, prokrupají ti palce na nohou.
Straight down through mid. Fnatic starting out confidently. They're going to be greeted by Xfero, who's been there to punish them a couple of times on the previous map. That's done.
Na Tajské po tebe taky šlapou, nebo to je ještě něco jiného? To si může říct, ne? Jakoby, jak boss to chceš to. Aby tě... zmalovala.
She's just holding the angle, but doesn't manage to land. Pistol definitely not done yet. Bear in mind, Fnatic have won both of them so far, and that was seemingly the difference maker in terms of...
nejsem ale vůbec tuhlej, kámo, já se cítím actually po piči. Za každý den dvakrát protahuju celý tělo, kámo. Loni jsem byl na masáži, a prostě mi typka řekla, že jakoby nejsem stuhlej, vole. Že jako tam chodí mnohem horší individua, vole. Tak nevím.
RRQ have also done a great job of keeping their utility here. Monyet not burning up a paranoia.
A nebyla to tajská, teda byla to normálně, kámo, česká.
When it comes to this post plant, I'm curious to see whether this was going to be used.
Oni stříleli si retakes, velice nepříjemný retakes s jedním smokem, jenom.
When they hear these steps of the retake, but instead they're playing back on the side.
They got both of the shot darts and
já to jsem si říkal, věty, no actually, že vlastně možná mám jednu nohu kratší než druhou a nikdy jakoby na to nepřijdu, vole, dokud nepůjdu k někomu takovýmu, no. To jsem si říkal, kámo, že může být jako problems. Počkej. Počkej. To nemá, ale. Enty.
It's whether or not he has enough time. He does not. It was incredibly close for another Chronicle miracle. But instead,
Masáž pružně pěn, to jsem nezažil, kámo, ještě. Jebu se, no, to je Vix. Ale to s tím, že máš kratší jednu nohu než druhou, kámo. To se stane, ani o tom nevíš, kámo.
Fnatic won by 3 rounds, and they got a 4-0 start in terms of those pistols and follow-ups. It makes all the difference. Maybe it will here for RRQ as well. This is, you know, you look at Ascent last time, that was what sent them out of Toronto. They were 13-5.
Patrik chodil na masáže s Videm v Tajsku. Neznám lore.
But now this one, we're going into unknown territory in terms of these two, Abyss and Corrode head to head.
Jo, Pablo, já se toho bojím. Na internetu jsou videa jenom jak se jakoby povedlo, že jo, někomu prochřupat někoho, ale už tam nedají ty videa, kde někdo někoho totálně skurvil na celý život. Jaj, Lothar zapíná, vole, Twitter. Masáž plus set end. To je, když máš až moc akutní post nad clarity, Paťas. To dávají kamarádo, to jsem viděl, to je Shakus, no. Plně Shakus byl kamarádo chiropraktika, co ho totálně dokurvil, vole. Přestřihl mu, kámo. Míchu, vole. No nic.
Set up very early in towards this B side. It seems to be their favored of the two thus far. We'll see if that continues throughout the map.
Still held. There's no way Kayak's getting super aggressive here on the back of it. No, they will just sit and wait. But here comes
Oj, Kayak je zpátky.
Kayak with the immediate punish, he gets out. Has his refract to go back, but doubtful that's going to be used. They've made it now into a 5v4, denying the plant. Oh no, it's not. It's on the other side of the box, pardon me. She's able to get the plant down nice and open.
Toho tam nechali vážně plantnout na tomhle místě.
What? It's a bit of a gamble with this many players there, but it sets them up nicely into the post plant. All 5 players from Fnatic and still a decent amount of utility. Recon already being sent out to try and clear some of that back.
Spamable místo.
A much deeper post plant. The spams.
Do smůčku.
A 1-for-1 trade, but bear in mind what they lost it on last.
Kámo, už říká, to mám docela dost, kámo, co dělají ty Fnatic? Jim to projebou zas. Ten shock dart. Kdyby ho trefil, tak vyhrál kolo. Ty píčo, tak to nechceš, vole. Tak to nechceš, kámo.
Fnatic have a round, but if that shot was a little deeper, they did not. Just an inch to the right, and that's a completely different game. Yeah, that's unfortunate for RRQ, but they make that one crazy competitive after losing opening pick and then pushing into the site in a 5v4. Numbers against them. And they managed to run that clock way down, that flash popping.
SM system.
Millisecond.
SM system, kámo. SM system plus happy end. 25 metrů, chat. Bam! Yoga je top. Já mám tady sousedy a okna, takže můžeme pásnout jogu.
They've not taken any of that early control, so even the aggression that's come out from Kayak is not really going to tell them too much. Shock darts even being put through or being taken. Like the ruse is that, okay, if our Sova's on this side of the map,
SMD system,
likelihood is
BDSM system.
It does make me a little bit nervous that, at least for the moment, he was there on the spike. But the drone re-clearing, oh, this is wonderful. They've sold a double fake.
Paťas. Můžou tě kontaktovat, Brian.
Back to the other side of the map. Still having 2 players here though, and the drone contact will probably be a quick scurry back to the A site.
The decision then, when you see this utility come through from Alpha here, do you stick around, do you look for the fight, or do you simply back off? And it looks like he's made the right call. And Crashies, he didn't think he needed a fallback. He should have been safe inside the smoke, but he has been taken down.
Huh.
RRQ, I mean, Fnatic tried to deny RRQ the opening pick, and they still get it.
Chat, fun fact.
Look at Alpha as well. He's 1 HP. Like the spams have
Teď to vypadalo tak, že to tak funguje, kámo.
to the side of Fnatic, but getting back into this site is going to be a difficult one. They're still
Dlouho jsem žil v iluzi, kámo. A spoustu lidí žije v iluzi, že Astrasak ruší plant. Není to tak, není to tak. Ruší plant pouze v případě, kdy ho vytáhneš mimo ten čtverec. Mě zase nedefuznou, kámo. Nějak normálně doplentíš tam, kam tě dotáhl. Nice. Come on, fellas.
It could have been a wonderful moment for Monyet, but instead he is caught.
Čau, Krokis. To je zápas Splendor. Nejen bršel, kámo, týpek na cestu kolem světa za 80 dní. Chronika je nejlepší, jako Chronika je legit nejlepší.
Nice retakes, boys.
That was a big conversation on the desk, right, about how the eras, the previous eras of Fnatic have always had a home ground. I think the most prominent in my mind is always going to be Icebox back in the day. But they don't have that here.
Do smoučku.
Lotus, I mean, it's more
klasický alfair.
I like the aged one.
Kámo, ten Crashist tady nenávidí tu pozičku, ti říkám už. Huge teleport od Monyeta, o 2 cm vedle.
A single bullet onto any of these players would be certain demise. Even still though, the time ticking.
Kámo, kdyby to vyfullil, ani neví, kámo. Ani neví, že kdyby to vyfullil, tak má 2 fragy pomalu. Zase ulti naštípne, ale čum. Shoulder! Shoulder! To je goat, mladej. To bylo dobrý, kámo, actually. Měl disciplínu, jak dropl z toho heavenu, vole, nespanikařil.
I think Boaster being able to bait the player in main, the Hunter's Fury not quite having the impact that they would have desired. Even still, from a low buy it's not bad, but it's the committal of the ults late that definitely makes...
Ten Cypher jak dlouho běžel s tou animací, ale...
Okay, that's fine, but the loss of the Hunter's Fury...
I'm trying to tell you something. I can't move out there.
Oh, it worked. 3-2.
Listen. Did I tell you something? I can't move alpha.
Retake after a retake, but RRQ, they probably feel like the B side after it being half a second and a slightly missed shot.
Chtěl bych vidět, kámo, co tam stalo, doopravdy.
The better of the two for them. They're heading there early.
Knife is broken. Jemkin, though, already in, taking the space, but Kayak's there to punish. We've seen this before. He just gets out, happy with his opening pick, with the advantage claim. The spike making it to backside. This is normally the aftershock goes.
Oni nemají prostě zvuky, kámo, čum. Oni neví, kam plentí. To je strašný.
RRQ have a late flank coming in from Xfero as well, covering all their bases. There is still a trip covering it. These players on site could be under pressure.
Dej tu ultinu.
That ult's not quite going to hit Monyet up in heaven. Xfero and Monyet both finding theirs. And then now that flank putting so much pressure on Fnatic need to be quick. They got to run forward. There's gaps in the play, and RRQ are exploiting them. 3-3 now, leveled back, and it seems difficult to separate these teams in the early stages of any map.
Yeah, no, I really like that every round we're seeing a variation of those late flanks coming through. Like, they haven't always been successful, but this fight for Xfero was everything. And I think Monyet and his positioning has been sublime. Like, he's the reason they win this round. He's able to get a little pick on the corner.
Nice.
And then maneuver up top outside of the ult.
Kámo, nekušuj mi tady.
As they try and switch in. Because of that, they're slower to get the kill onto Cushy. Great round from him individually.
Co dělá midround celý trapu, ty kokot? Čaroděj, vole.
Worryingly long time to set up. If they had swung that corner, that man is certainly dead, but hey, he got it done in the end.
Cypher na abysu je dobrý mini, když má ty tvoje kejčky. A na co kejčky? Na co dělal taky, by the way.
Very quick to take the space.
Oh, there's the trip.
Jemkin's landed himself up top, a different route than was planned for by that trapwire. Hunter's Fury active, but
dobrý counter.
The ult from KO taking.
Dobře zahrál, kámo, kuš.
And buying so much time.
Řešníky Xina.
We'll have to now wait. They've got so much util for the retake, but
já jsem jako plný ten brdínko, jsou moje. Kámo, musí si ty věci podepisovat. To je v piči, no, kámo, ty věci se kradou, potom... O, ten kuš je nejlepší. A ten je nejhorší. Boaster! What? Kde jsou Boaster Raiders teď? Kde jsou Boaster Doubters teď? Kde jsou moje Boasties? Co dal, kámo? Okamžitě replay. A co vysral ten Jemkin?
I'm just looking at Boaster. What was the third kill? Did that player get pinged and I didn't realize it? Because that looked so clean from him.
Yeah, I don't know. It's straight through the smoke. Even the second, he was lucky to survive.
To bylo taky dobrý, kámo, ale...
From his POV, but there were a lot of shots
Čum.
It looked done.
What?
One through the smoke.
What?
Another player whips.
Oh, reveal, generational, kde byl? Kde pouze to, nevím, kdo byl ten reveal. Ale...
Hello, bro. Monyet, hello. How you think, brother? Hello, brother.
Slyší tě, neboj se. Herec. Trapu na CT měl. A já jsem jakoby... Stejně jak Polorajch, vole. Na primě.
Gonna have the Blade Storm activated for Jemkin. Deep play towards the A site for Fnatic. Early doors taking a lot of control. RRQ hasten their pace as a response.
Nevím jak ty, kámo, já si dávám trapy někam jinam. A třeba sit míny. Třeba měl fakt trapu na CT.
Slowing down the players in mid, making a bit of an accordion effect. This is leaving more isolated battles. Alphayear dies after just one though.
Chci dát koment duo s Minískem Cipískem. Minísek Cipísek prej pracuje ještě, kámo. Všechno jenom ne práce, by the way. Těch týpek v TikToku měl pravdu, ale...
He's low on HP, so he has to pick his moment. The rest of the team have been able to place themselves in the back of the site.
Kámo, oni furt flankujou, furt.
Rolling thunder them all off the map, but they are waiting. They don't want to overface, they don't want to get aggressive. They are giving the time for Monyet to make potentially
nervy jak píča už.
He's watching everybody, it's a little bit messy, but he'll still get the one.
To actually není ani Warf, kámo, skoro tu jeden flank. Ty nemají smoky, actually jakoby zrovna se mu podařilo zabít. Je to Warf, zabil toho nejvíc valuable týpka, vole, nemyslím měl tu Astro ultinu, ale určitě měl smoke, vole. Ale zabít kohokoliv jinýho, kámo, tak ti říkám, a pak umřít, vole, jak to normálně není Warf snad.
In the post plant, he's able to deliver, and I'll tell you what, Alphayear might be
brdinka jedna,
now. You're gonna keep losing retakes. Well, not this time, says Koshi. 4-4.
Look at the economy as well.
Neck and neck.
Všichni fandí RRQ, co to je? Co je?
Oh yeah, there would have to be some.
A Crazy Guy hází můj reveal z rankedu, vole, to vidím. Po druhý, kámo. Ten reveal na ten strop, kámo, ten je top.
Has a lot of info in towards the A site. He's playing in mid, obviously trying to avoid.
Mi ho ukradl, tak? Je můj. Mini okejčky, můj reveal, můj si myslet něco svýho? Můžu si myslet něco svýho, píči už.
The support that Alpha has is just the jiggle peak of Chronicle. It definitely leaves him out to dry, but when you have a buy like this.
Jo, ten Bane měl nejlepší shock darty ze všech zatím. To je full feťák, kámo.
You've heard the drone go through as well on RRQ, and obviously the response here from Crazy Guy was to drone it himself, make sure they haven't taken the space.
Licencuju si to? Jaž by to šlo?
4 players outside.
Fede, to je tvůj reveal nebo je to tvůj ukradený reveal? Víš co, jako je kroky, co už oni nevím, když jsem ho ukradl nebo ne, actually. Je Monyet třeba před rokem 2 už jsem ho ukradl od někoho dalšího, dělal jsem ho tak moc, že už si moje mysl myslí, že je fakt můj. Já nevím, kámo. To už je prostě rutina. A to byl line-up na plant, by the way, aby se to dalo nahoru. On koukal přímo do růžku tam, aby se to dalo tam, kam chce. Podle mě ten spike je jakoby na tom rantlu, teďka, ukaž?
I think most of the danger is gone. Alfia with the rifle is the one piece of the puzzle. And
dobrý ten, vole. Ukáž ten spike? Ať se otočí ten spike, kurva.
And for Alfia, it then gets to the point of like, okay, do you just hold on to the weapon? How much damage are you really hoping to do here? The answer is absolutely nothing.
Ne, neukážou mi prostě jednu věc, co chci vidět. Teď by měl. Kurva, než vybouchne do píče, podívejte se na ten spike, někdo z těch komentářů serverů do píče. Já se poseru.
5 on the board for RRQ, the lead reclaimed, but I think most of us are expecting the next to go to Fnatic. Not because of their comp or their economy or the way they're playing.
Ukažte mi, kde je to plentnutý, kurva.
Back and forth.
Čum, je to nahoře.
Games of tennis here.
Yeah, I really looks like another. I want to give credit again to RRQ for how much.
Přemýšlím, jestli to je dobrý, ale pak můžeš chytnout z toho z modrého boxíku.
No command into the site. They're still checking for those trips. They know that that's one of the main dangers is just a kill trip somewhere on the corner. They're checking.
Cením kreativitu, ale
they are not.
Actually, tady to není plně.
The way they're doing things. They're smart with it. Very enjoyable team to watch.
Prosím, myslíš, že je Aspas?
Set play though, being thrown in for Fnatic. The util forced them back, but
není.
Unfortunately for Kayak, there was nobody caught in the stun.
Bylo je umyté jak svině. Ty kvůli tomu, že nedává TikToky, vole. Kdyby dával TikToky, jak minule, tak je Generation. Chronicle dával TikToky určitě, Čumlani jak je dobrý. Misnul ultinu.
And instead it sent him into the waiting arms of Chronicle, but a 3v3, and again this mid play. Alpha got the better of Xfero last time, but this time it's revenge.
Nějaká rozebíračka tady, dámy a páni, vole.
Now open as we can see. Boaster getting his rifle out.
Ale na Boastera si krátkej.
He'll end up equalizing things.
Okay, well throughout this, Chronicle didn't move. I can understand why. You've seen a kill on the other side of the map. You kind of had the expectation that they go the other way. He's now started to claim some control. Perfect positioning, but it's Laban. It's given an opportunity.
Reposition, otazník. A piču. Showster versus šílený chlap.
Going all the way around the map to try and get in from behind. He does have
30 let zkušeností. Versus šílený chlap.
He started to realize that he has to be coming in from behind. The tap on the spike reveals his opponent's position. But the clock is in. He's been good in these
Vycukal.
And who would have guessed it?
Milan Vycukánek.
Another retake of sorts.
It was the Hunter's Fury online, though, for RRQ, for Crazy Guy in that moment. I think that's going to put so much pressure on Boaster. The fact that
Já ti říkám, že tuhle ten angle si jednou vzal na rankedu, jednou. To dostanou takovou pecku, vole. Že mi to normálně disconnectne.
That could have played out very badly for Fnatic, but instead, a further lead is denied. The IGL's on his feet. Boaster's having a good game so far.
Mozek dnes Ice Traila a on je nejlepší.
Both teams dumping their economy into this one. This round may well be a fight.
Tento angle nikdy. To je prostě lanka div, přísám. Je ping div.
At halftime.
Gonna take some early space. It will be spotted. There we go. Just a little bit of patience. Jemkin still looking like he wants to challenge this. Maybe expecting a reaction. The A site split, not something we've seen too much of. It's a very tight angle to try and make your way through.
Je tak, Pavlo. S Vipem nebudeš tam je one way, no. A je ten one way, kámo, antlaky. Čau, Matěj. Náš Matěj.
They have done a great job so far on the attacking side. Dealing with Alpha Year's utility, it doesn't feel like he's getting a lot off those traps, constantly being destroyed. Always
retake s Astra ultinou. Ukaž, jaký je navaří. No má main volné? Volné main nebo něco jiného, nebo nic? Nebude ulti?
He's just delivered a double. Managed to find them, fall back, and then the trap on the other side reveals one of the last players, Boaster, the one that was unknown, Alpha, will be caught by Crazy Guy in the 1v1, back and forth as it went. It's RRQ for 6.
Písnička říká naprostou pravdu. Vidíš, kámo, tě má rád tu písničku, ale... Čo mají také tě sáčky na stole, jak se můžeme spýtať? Jo, dobrý double kill. Ty sáčky jsou imo zahřívadla a ještě si do toho suší ruce, takže obojí v jednom, kámo. Myslím si, že to je na ohřátí rukou a na upření rukou. Pak mají ještě jakový kovový pičovinky. Ten reveal jsem ztratil, jsou ukradnu zpátky. Tam ještě jaký kovový pičovinky a ty jsou taky na zahřívání. Za mapu. Pičo. Podle mě je Abyss defense-sided. Uvidíme, jak je na názor Boaster. To mají Breach a Waylay. Dneska jsem viděl na Twitteru chat Generational Shock Dart, tady na Abyss, kámo. Mám chuť dneska házet jenom ten Shock Dart, nic víc, jenom Shock Dart.
Certainly ended up with a better rifle. That is what RRQ have been so good at. They're not going to give him a single fight, just jiggle peeking.
Na výhru to hraje, to se neboj. Můžu to vyhrát, to se neboj.
Doesn't have anything to play with, the time against him. And look, even at the end, the cam will be what decides the round. Just making sure that there is no fight to be had. The half will be won by RRQ. And well, they stopped all those retakes from happening again and again after the last few rounds.
It was a razor's edge between triumph and tragedy in that first map. The pistol rounds ultimately.
Ty pičo, ale to byl dobrý aim, jakože. A tohle, what? To co je, kámo?
7-5 scoreline, a strong performance from across the board. Cushy stepping up to new heights. You really look at the entirety of RRQ and say they have got a chance when we get to halftime, or half number 2 after the halftime break.
Et on a des fans de toutes les équipes ici en France, y compris RRQ.
Povědomej, kámo. Nebrž mě povědomej o ksicht.
Here with me, and the first question I want to ask you is, how did you discover RRQ? What gave you, faith in them and want to follow them? Donc première question, c'est étonnant aussi d'avoir un fan de RRQ.
Proč fandí RRQ?
Qu'est-ce qui t'a donné envie de les suivre?
Je suis tombé dessus un peu par hasard quand j'étais en Corée du Sud. J'ai regardé un match, ils ont gagné. C'était preuve de résilience, c'était juste incroyable en termes de gameplay. Je suis rentré, j'ai acheté tous les billets pour le reste de la régulière saison 2023 et je suis allé à tous les matchs. C'est pas compliqué.
So it's a love story. Back in 2023, I started following them a bit randomly. I went to the arena in Seoul and I loved them. They had like such a big resilience, so I bought all the tickets for their future matches back in 2023, and I never stopped following them. So that's beautiful dedication indeed. And this might be a tough question, but I want to ask you, what is the best region in the world? Are you going to go for EMEA, for Pacific? C'est quoi la meilleure région du monde?
Bon, certainement pas les Américains.
Ooh, definitely not the Americans.
On aurait tendance à dire EMEA, mais il y a quand même la meilleure équipe du monde au Pacifique et RRQ, donc...
Pacifique?
Bah oui, bien sûr.
So yeah, maybe I would say EMEA, but I have to stick with my boys from RRQ here. And last question, who do you think will carry this Abyss maps on the side of RRQ? Qui va carry cette carte pour RRQ?
Couché.
J'aime beaucoup Xero et j'aime beaucoup Ewok aussi, c'est des pierres angulaires et ils sont là depuis le début et je les supporte depuis le début et c'est sûr qu'ils vont faire quelque chose de grand, c'est sûr, c'est certain.
So yeah, I love the coach too. I think they are really like Stone Miles in that team, like very, very strong player and coach. So I'm definitely rooting for them. Merci, Maxime. Thank you very much. And let's get back to the game.
Well, it's time to get back into the game very, very soon, where RRQ are now leading. I guess the pistol really does.
Kayak Econ rating 22.
Coinbase Econ report. And you can take a look at Boaster. A lot of talk in the desk about his
performance,
but he has certainly stepped it up here today.
Yeah, no, he's definitely had his moments. I think especially on the defensive side, being able to get into those positions to basically get them back into the site that they'd lost. Because every round that they won was based off a defusal. The plant was going down, they were playing the retake. I think he's going to be pivotal in those post plants. I love seeing Astra on this map, well, when I think of Astra, I think of him, I think of Boo. Like having those post-plant gravity wells to buy you that little bit of extra time can make a massive amount of difference.
Jo, tak chápeš, to je pro ně prostě, Pablo, no. To je prostě pro ně, vole. Kdyby to bylo v Praze, tak taky budu rád, když tam nějakýho Pepíka odchytí, kámo, někde ze záchodu, vole, s pivkem v ruce a zeptej se ho, vole. Nevím, kámo. Kočko mu fandí.
A bloodbath to start it
off.
Getting aggressive, and he's been tagged up. It's time to fall back. Same for Crazy Guy. Taking some scars.
Bacha na toho Crazy Guy, no.
Yet to drop a player. Question is, do they have the
Kažák. Kažák Sheriff, by the way. Nebude dešovat do sajtu ani, no. Čemu hrajou Vejlej Bridge, týpek neplánuje dešovat na Bridgestone? Ha? S Frenzinou píklo okno? To je klasika. Jo, Kajak je od hovna.
But with space being held, this was something that the old Fnatic on this map loved to do. They just leave Boaster in the spawn. Crashes though has been caught, looking like maybe he wanted to.
Se moc neznám těch in-ears, actually. Tomu se ptát Miniho, který používají se na té stage teoreticky, nebo nevím. Asi nějaký od Razeru, ale jsem slyšel, že... Shock dart! Boaster za 2. Boaster za 3.
He's found himself 3 already, but he's the last healthy player. Alpha down to 25. That's Sheriff. A 6-chambered up.
Boaster za 4. A co jako? A co jako?
We just highlighted him, and for good reason.
Yeah, no,
o co jde?
And as said, like when you look back at their old
Izrael Razer, nevím, jaký jsou default. Wow.
They would leave him behind as this hard lurk if he's setting up utility from afar and basically
allowing
you to push across the map. This though was a different story. He completely took the A site on his own and then ended up clearing out the players as they went to rotate. Brilliant round from Boaster. And well, we mentioned the importance
kokot, to je taký kokot. Hodil zbraň Crashisovi, podle mě, by the way. Hodil Phantom Crashisovi a sám hraje Ghosta. Britisher, kámo. Skoro, že nevidím permanentně ty peníze, chápeš? Že on měl, Crashis má velký armory, drona, shock darty. Podle mě, vole, nevychází, aby si koupil ještě k tomu Phantom, vole. Dají tady fintičky takovýhle. Po druhý.
Especially with the range advantage going back towards mains, not a bad idea, but conscious of Monyet being able to just smoke them off. They want to stay a little bit aggressive, keep some.
Kámo, Kajak nedožne ani flash. Kámo, ten Kajak začíná srát. Jakže nedožne flash? Go má 50. Show, strdí po Phantom, kokote. Viděl jsi, jak si na to vzpomněl? Jak pro něj běžel ten kokot?
I'm not sure that's the way they really wanted to win the round, but maybe for him that's a nice little confidence boost. Not that it seems like he needs it.
On má match MVP, ne? Má nejvíc killů z týmu a i ze hry.
The late round was what I said, but I was talking about his utility, not so much just the raw individual aim. Well, that was incredibly messy.
Messi? Jak si vzpomněl ten Phantom? Jak si vzpomněl ten Phantom, to cením, kámo. 17-7 Boaster, vole. Kde jsou Doubters? Je tak, Kačenko. Můj nebyl hráč, prostě. A Kaja, konečně. Konečně dešuje na Breeze. Getting active! Getting active, fella! Getting active! Ale cením game knowledge. Tohle je jeden ze 2 save spotů, co na tom sajtu je, ale tam, kde byl Boaster. Tam jste actually jediný místo, kde jste safe, kurva.
Bushy trying to take space back through. This is not going to be easy. Maybe it is. There's a
Ty jsi říkal, že ten smoke je dobrý, kámo. Ten smoke je divný, dost. Ten smoke je dost divný, kámo.
Making this one interesting for sure. They've dodged themselves that knife, but now
Taky plentí nahoru. Ty pičo, Boaster! 30 let! 30 let od tebe, 30 let. To je takový koto. On ani nemusí vidět, vole, aby je zabil. Nejlepší zápas, kámo, nejlepší. Jeden, druhý. Kámo, kámo.
He's gonna have a duel.
Imagine being the guy on the other side of the stage. That is literally like a parent embarrassing their child. Because Boaster's parents are in the crowd.
Yeah, and I think Kayak looked like the embarrassed child.
Kámo, já obdivuju, že je schopný tohle udělat prostě.
They need a moment to gather themselves
Já to obdivuju, kámo.
And I don't blame them.
Wow, yeah, it's looking like after Angels retired, Boaster's just absorbed all of that extra Unk energy and is just taken over. 19-7. This has definitely been his map. The scoreline definitely still not out of the realms of possibility. There's only a singular round between them at this point, but that was a bonus round where in the
ale neříkej mi, že tuhle ty sračky, co děláš, že to actually neudržuje týmovou morálku, víš co, že prostě jakoby...
Heroics from Cushy. He's been having a great game overall.
Máš vlastně na píču hru, jak mám vlastně na píču hru, ale tvůj týpe místo, aby tam tiltil, vole. Že to je close, tak tam dělá prostě kokotiny, vole.
Teams falling into the lower bracket. With Billy, China #1 currently sat down there. I don't think RRQ want to join them.
I think especially going down like this. I mean, look, it's still a very tight game, but now they've got pistols. You should be looking.
A už je klidný, ale už tam sedí, vole, full focus. Viděl jsem tam, jak jsem radší, čím koukal, kámo. Už ho neser, teďka ho neser, kámo. Teď ho neser.
Hey, listen, plenty of people have fallen into that pit hole. Alpha up for
contest,
ult? Best player
Může
in the world
být.
at one point in Kayak, the guy coming up from the tier 2. Looking remarkable, the young gun, but you're getting diffed by Boaster. Something that I think you know.
He's a young man.
He is, yeah. And as the desk was highlighting, his stage 2 performance was lacking a little bit individually. But we've seen that. The guy's got a lot of responsibilities. Right now, it seems like he's the brains and the brawn down on that stage.
Dobrý slow, ale nefollow úplně svůj slow. Halo!
Bam, not quite finding anything. Of course, there's not a whole lot to play.
No tak on si chytí Cypher a nejde po něm.
Chance for him to farm. He already has ult online, but I think the confidence far more valuable for Fnatic at this stage. The duelist trying to get their way back into the game, and that's exactly what's happening in this one. A clean up with only 2 standing and plenty of utility denying
U paragraf, kámo.
For the remaining players. Can they do any damage? That's not a bad start, but Alfie.
Oh, nice shot.
Easy round for Fnatic.
Dobrý skin.
And you look at Fnatic there, they do give RRQ a lot of opportunities. A bunch of individual fights taken, swinging into Sheriffs, it's risky, but...
Říkám, kámo, to je prostě dobrý skin. To je dobrý skin, tu je ten žlutej. Ten skin je fakt dobrý, chat.
They're starting to just run it down at us. They need to see a bounce back pretty soon. This is 4 in a row now on the attack side, but a 4-0 start, we've seen it many times. And many times we've seen that team end with 4 or 5 rounds in the half. This is RRQ's chance to prove that it was just a hiccup. An early half upset.
Line up na Kicku, come on.
When that came into play on the defensive side of Ascent, it was a massive game changer. That's where Jimkin really did the damage. The problem thus far, and a problem that, again, I still remember back to the beginning of the season where Fnatic played, I think it was versus Gentlemates. They loved the A-site taste.
Gentlemates mentioned.
Seems like they've
developed mentioned.
A taste for B, and that's where Jimkin will be waiting for them.
Dota by se dotká po piči.
Oh, Martins. That stagnates. It's time to switch it up. Fnatic straight to the B side. The op shot not landed, and quite a bit of damage done in return.
Chronicle one top.
Xfero falls.
Je 12x, Araš?
No longer there to work with an alpha.
Kámo, nezmiňovat 12, prosím, když se bavíme o
He finds himself falling.
Gentlemen are the best team in the world. If the game ends, that's well.
Few and far between with trades lightning fast for Fnatic. Double digits acquired, and they are on the path to success.
Yeah, this is starting to look pretty damning for RRQ.
To byla crazy season.
Looking stellar from Fnatic. It started with clutch.
Jo.
Brilliance, but now it's starting to.
Jo, a to nebyla hlava, vypadalo tak hlava.
Easy openers and even the.
A k čemu se modlí, komu se modlí? Je tam zvuk. K čemu se modlil?
From the side of RRQ, a chance for
k Boasterovi.
To try come up with big changes because these last 5 rounds started fairly close, but that one really wasn't.
Well, indeed, and we already saw that pause called earlier by RRQ. That course correction did not come into play, and now they're starting to drift out.
Hezky jsi to napsal, Grace. Hezky jsi to napsal. Hezky jsi to napsal.
Sparks of hope.
Bez servítek, vole.
When they win the pistol here, when they leave half 1-7 to 5.
Aleš nelfuje, Aleš není lean for the girls, ale lean for the girl. Pozor.
Whether it's in clutches, whether it's in opening tools, the guy's been there every time.
Yeah, it's worth noting as well.
Včera nám Aleš zaspal na TeamSpeaku, by the way. Bavili jsme se o velice důležitých věcech. Já, mini Alešek, velice důležité věci. Klíčový, kámo. A z ničeho nic, Aleš přestal mluvit, zmizel a ráno mi napsal, že usnul, kámo. Nebo ráno, ale odpoledne.
Not looking good at all.
Scammer, vole.
Let's see if things change in the next round. Here it's Sheriffs. Individual's going to be relied upon. The cam already spots Jemkin. The door has to be broken open, and as he fades away, Monyet fades out of the round, trying to cover his teammate. 4 Sheriffs now left in play.
Jen Lee. Jako kdyby na tom kolu byla s námi ještě Jen Lee, tak ti říkám, že nezaspí, no. Ale to je prostě... Jsme malí, jakoby malí ryby. Aleška, vole. Tam kouká? Prostě myslíš, že z té knihovny někdo vyleze, nebo co?
Every single ultimate bar maybe the neural theft to be online for Fnatic, like they haven't had to use anything. The neural theft was used in the last round. But if they're clever here with like who plants, well there you go, there's one.
Proč se nekouká do rohu Chronicle?
Maybe they send Crafty out to try and hunt, although he's always there to just sit passive with the shock darts and the recon.
Možná to je lepší pro ten spam v mainu, actually. Možná tam je méně anglů, když si potom v mainu, jakoby naproti té bombě. Chronicle 100% ví, jak funguje bomba, vole, takže actually schválně, kámo, až se kouká ten, jak se koukám. Měl být aktivování.
No need to give them even more, especially with Crashies 2 away from that Hunter's Fury. Going down to the spike is the correct play, but now back against the wall. It's been 6 straight rounds for Fnatic. A pause just called in the previous by RRQ. This is what they will have talked about. The rifle round has to be theirs.
Yeah, but again, you're going to have to break through all of those ultimates. I'm sure they have some of their own, but...
Monyet! Monyet! Hello, Monyet! Look at me again! Hello! Look at me again, bro! Oh, he's not. He gets scared.
He also has headphones on.
Nechápu, oni to nechápou, kámo, nebo co? Já si říct, jak trapně, kámo. Oni tam prostě mluví, takhle na hlas, jak mluvím já. Na toho týpka přes celou stage. Co máš tluví si tu na to na hlavě, kámo? Herci, to je prostě full kapesník 69, jakoby incident, ti přísahám. To je full herectví, jakoby. Taky bych to zkusil, ale... Já bych na něj, že? Že mlčení znamená souhlas, vole. A jakákoliv otázka. A pak, že neodpovídá. Ty pičo, ale ten je snappy, kámo. Ten je snappy, kamaráde. To kajak sedí u Boasterovou kompu, ne? A Boasterovu kajakovo. Čum na to, kámo, jak je crispy, vole, crispy chicken normálně.
Nothing's changed for RRQ. The thing I love about that is that's when Fnatic decided to throw in a set play. That's where you have the rolling thunder that forces the players. We've seen them play on this close box so many times. So rolling thunder forces them in, and that's why Boaster is running it down.
Čum na to.
He knows if he gets
Ty se má dozad, ale to je jedno.
They're going to be stunned up and being blown in towards him because they're so worried of the.
Dobrý fusekle, ale jinak. Fusekle zajebal.
Set play from the side of Fnatic. And while we spoke about the fact that this needed to be the resurgence, there looks like there is no resurgence to be had. This attack side from Fnatic has been flawless.
Not a bump on the road so far. Remember, this is RRQ's the conversation that's been going around about Fnatic being in the weakest state in terms of their map pool so far, where we might have to reconsider. Ascent was close. In the second half of Abyss, it has been anything but. They were 7-5 down. And now just one round away from victory. With 5 chances to do it. Kayak's deep dive. They see the cage.
Oh!
Shot on the Jemkin. The first.
Boaster umře, by the way, jak skočí. Který Boaster. Byl to frajer. On neskočí. On actually ne, on hodlá skočit, vole, až ten Cypher umře. Dřív ne.
They now will be, or at least the first one. If anybody's jumping across, Boaster could go fly.
It
may not even matter in the end. Only 2 standing. Make that just
jaký už máš? Mark, to spíš mi napiš.
Needs a crazy finish and he will.
GG's, fellas, GG's.
Perfection for Fnatic on that attack side. Not a single round dropped. And well, for a map choice of RRQ, they're left with egg on their face.
A Fnatic off to a hot start here at
Ale byla čistka, kámo.
It will be RRQ and their champ's debut, whose flesh serves as their kindling. Boaster reaching new heights on that stage as well.
Napsal, co dělá 3-0 dělá jako 30 kg, neměl 30 kg, ne?
They've stepped on the champion stage, never touched the trophy. Well, they are here with one goal in mind this time.
24-8 měl. 2 rating měl Boaster, 53% HS. Chronicle plus 23 za 2 mapy, vole. Ty píčo. Chronicle je next level, kámo. Ten unmatch, ten je unmatch. Jo, 3KD měl actually, měl 3KD 24-8 měl, vole.
At every single champions. This is hopefully just the start of what will be a long run for them. Sorry, what?
Crashy dělá Spider.
All right. Yeah, Scud's not a fan of that one. The little head shake.
Very confused.
Not having that.
I feel like we've just caught the end of whatever was going on there, and I don't know what we've just seen.
That's got to be the first.
A ty rodiče tam na to koukají, ne?
Dropping trial in front of the parents. All right, we love to see it. Fair play. Boaster always a man to give us a surprise. Well, it's time to throw it down to the stage. There is an interview with.
Ale on měl shortky. Já měl shortky. On měl shortky a ještě přesto měl daný ty.
Sa première win à Paris avec Fnatic. Team, do you have time for me for a quick interview? Can I bother you for a second, Chronicle? Of course, congratulations, first of all, for this huge victory against RRQ. And you are indeed a very big pride for EMEA, one of the best flex players in the world. We've seen some Vi, some Bridge, some Viper, but deep down, what's your favorite agent to play?
Harbor.
Herec.
I'm just joking, not Arbor.
Give me a serious answer.
Sova, 100%.
Actually, Sova, ok. Donc, première question, c'est l'un des meilleurs flex du monde, une fierté de l'IMEA. On a vu de la Vice, de la Viper, du Bridge, il peut tout jouer, mais c'est quoi en vrai son pick préféré? Il nous dit Arbor pour troll, évidemment, mais en réalité, Sova, and the second question I wanted to ask you is that on stage, it seemed like you guys were having fun back like in 2023, you know, that fiber, that child spirit that was coming back. So what happened, you know, during those 2 weeks? How come do we see you in such a shape?
No, to mě zajímá, kámo.
I don't know, Jake was popping off crazy with some emotions, I think. One round we actually had to chill him down because he couldn't get a gun. Like after he was like, yeah, we won!
The Phantom,
like,
no?
Screaming up, but he forgot about the taking gun. I was like, God bless, he took it. But our emotions are crazy right now. I think everyone's excited to play Champions since obviously for everyone is a big target, big goal, and yeah, it feels great to come back on stage again.
Yeah, I think at some point he could even have forgotten to defuse, you know, how excited he was, but this didn't happen indeed. Donc comment est-ce que ça s'est passé pour vous? Vous êtes de retour, on voit des âmes d'enfants sur le serveur, et ben il nous dit Boaster aujourd'hui à Hard Carry, il a été insane, il s'est levé, il célébrait, il a même oublié de ramasser une arme à un moment donné, donc on a dû essayer de le calmer un petit peu, mais voilà, on est trop content d'avoir gagné. And last question, I know that you're a team player, I know that you like giving props to other players, so apart from your teammates, who do you see having the potential to be the best player of the tournament?
Best player of all time.
Jake,
of the tournament,
Boaster.
Champs Paris.
In my team.
No, outside of your team.
Oh, that's tough.
Huh?
Who do we think? Do we go Pacific? Do we go local, EMEA?
Pacific, just straight of, just to jinx them a little bit, you know?
The region, right? The region has.
Kámo, nemůžeš říct, že někdo bude MVP turnaje mimo tvůj tým. Co je za otázku, kurva?
La région Pacifique, ça sera la réponse.
Myslíš, že Chroniko je vděčí fanoušek, kurva?
Congratulations again. That's it for us on stage. Let's toss it back to the analyst desk for some.
Podívej se, jak se směje. Doteď se směje pod fousem, kámo, na jakou pičovinu se ho zeptala.
First of all, shout out to the Cal Paolo cosplay. I don't know if you spotted
Kámo, Chronicle nemůže mít víc piči, vole, všechny, vole, ostatní.
Pacific are not flawless after the first 4 days. I think that's kind of an upset.
They had me believing.
Škoda, že to nedořekla s tím svým týmem. To byla pískanice. Ne asi Boucek, ne asi, kámo. What the fuck, kámo, co to je za otázku? Kdo si myslíš z ostatních týmů bude MVP tohoto turnaje? Jo, ten turnaj, kde jsi i ty. No, tak jako by ty týmy, proč tady budeš hrát. Tak kdo z nich bude nejlepší na tom turnaji? No? Sakra, no, nedostal jsem odpověď, vole, no. Nevadí, kámo. What the fuck, kámo. Vysmál to? Jo, to je prostě to. A ještě měl Generational hru, kámo, měl nejlepší performance so far podle ze všech, kámo, na tom turnaji. Doslova se ptala MVPčka, vole. Dobrý věty, no tak. To by ztratil všechnu auru, kámo. No nic, počkej. Cinema zápasy. Zítra je off, pokud se nepletu. 16. je mezera. Ano, říkám to správně. 16. je mezera. Zítra odesílám všechny battle passy, všechny e-booky a tak dále. Skrz formuláře na Kicku, takže určitě můžete dorazit. Druhá část dnešního streamu, kdy si projdeme klipy, co jsem si vyklipal. Dneska mám tak 10 klipů jenom, dneska nemám moc klipů, ale mám pár dobrých klipů. Projdeme si to. Potom budeme hrát, nevím jestli Patrik Hušek bude přítomen, alias Min Puris. Doufám, že ano. A pojedeme Rankeds. Later. Takže tak. No. Takže kdo chcete pokecat ještě o zápasech dneska, tak feel free přijít. Dneska budou streamy tak do půlnoci. A tady na YouTube se vidíme ve 3. 17. na PaperX Giants, MIBR Fnatic. A kdo vyhraje, postupuje do playoff. Zápas si podle mě dost solid, kámo. PaperX Giants. No way, že Giants porazí PaperX, to bylo fakt crazy upset už. A MIBR Fnatic. Podle mě 2-0 Fnatic, no. Takže tak, chat.
Potom bude ještě jeden zápas a 19. chat. Už začínají, kámo, ty zápasy, které mě hitujou asi nejvíc vždycky, kámo. Mě nejvíc hitujou, kámo, zápasy, kdy někdo jede domů. Ty hitujou prostě úplně jinak, kámo, ty zápasy. Prostě vidíš ty emoce těch lidí, to je jako bolestivý, no. A zároveň, vole, tu naději, vole, naděje a bolest, kámo, jsou tu ve těch elimination zápasech vždycky. Je prostě jeden Team Liquid nebo ADG pojedou domů prostě 20. chápeš, to je crazy. To je actually crazy. No nic, finitos, vidíme se na zelené a tak do 10 minut. Díky moc za sledování, díky za roční odběry, členství, donators, vidíme se. Yes sir. Papa, pane Alfa, jede papa. Za chvilku jsem backchat. Come on.